The views expressed on this Turnbuckle Tabloid live stream or Turnbuckle Tabloid podcast episode do not reflect the views, thoughts, or opinions of the Rageworks brand, including the Rageworks podcast network, Rageworks content partners, advertisers, and affiliates. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
It's your boy Jay the Red Santee, your host of Turnbuckle Tabloid, here to say thank you to you, the listener, for being a part of the 7 years of wrestling, babble, and all things ridiculous here at Turnbuckle Tabloid. The podcast has been here doing it big for so many years, and we appreciate every person who's subscribed and listened to the podcast each and every year. But I got something else for you guys. Yeah, we've been doing it up different this time of year. Starting to expand our wings a little bit more. We're hitting up the YouTubes, hitting up the Twitch, hitting up the TikToks. Yeah, boy, hitting up the IGs as well. We're doing live streams there, and I want you guys to be a part of it as well. It's going to be exclusive content there. So what you don't get on the podcast, you'll get on the live streams. So it'll be great if you guys like, subscribe, began following all those social media websites for Turnbuckle Tabloid. And believe me, you will not miss a thing. Catch us there. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Ariana Natagrande, and you are watching Turnbuckle Tabloid.
One more.
Hi, this is Ariana Natagrande, and you are watching Turnbuckle Tabloid.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
What up, world? It's the heel with the opinion made of steel, Wrestling Ream. You now tuned in to Turnbuckle Tabloid.
Give me a fucking mic! Turnbuckle Tabloid, cutting a promo. Is it blistering for you yet? Has it got to hellish temperatures yet?
Yes. Yes. It's the nightmare.
I went to Seneca. Shout out to the Seneca who took care of us this past Saturday for Money in the Bank. Nice turnout for all those who pulled up as well. Thank you guys for pulling up for the contest and all things connected to Turnbuckle Tabloid. Let me put my glasses on. And for anything else connected to wrestling as well. And yeah, it was. Oh yeah, it went up to Seneca yesterday because I wanted to just have a beer before. Anything else. I was at work early. I had one of my day shifts and got in there, and though it wasn't as hot as you would think it would be, yeah, I was like, yeah, I got to go home. After 2 beers, I was like, I'm getting out of here. They was like, really? I was like, I can't stay in here, man. I can't. This is not for me.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad on Saturday, but it just this heat gets ridiculous. Like, especially for me, once I get out of work, it's like 90 as soon as I get out of work. It's
yeah, for where you work at, I know that you pretty much have blistering, because I've been there before, and I know how it could be. Yeah, so I know exactly how it could be. I remember those summer days that I dreaded going into to work, so I know what it was. Speaking of,
I almost got into a fight with my new supervisor. They're training new supervisors, and they're passing out. He was passing out waters. Fucker walked right past me with a bunch of waters and gave them to everybody else. I was like, "You motherfucker!" I was like, "You better come back here and give me a water before I kick your ass."
Nah, just for that, he should have brought you a gallon. That would have been great.
Give me the whole fucking cooler.
Well, speaking of cases, we got money.
I would. Yeah.
No, okay, you might as well finish it, guy.
No, I was gonna say, knowing me, I'd dump that cooler over my fucking head. All the ice water and shit.
Listen, it's out here. This is ridiculous out here. But let me tell you, speaking of cases, we had Money in the Bank this past Saturday. A review of what went down, and I got a lot of people They said that the 5 matches in the time frame kind of worked for everyone. It seemed like it was a nice balance for them. I know they've been doing 5 matches before, but for a match an event that's considered the I guess the number 5, the 5th major event for WWE, it seems like it's getting a good response.
Yeah. I mean, aside from the 20 minutes of talking and Aaron promoting the documentary on WrestleMania, the show once again it flowed very good, honestly. Because once the matches is over, then you just have a break from it. And with AEW, it's just match after match after match after match. There's no break in between each match. So.
Right.
I mean, WWE is doing it right. And now with WrestleMania doing 2 nights and SummerSlam next year doing 2 nights, they're definitely Triple H is definitely implementing the old NXT method of less matches on pay-per-view and more focus on the TVs.
Yeah. So, with that being said, let's go down on the card. Let's see what we have and have our thoughts and opinions about what happened.
We start with Money in the Bank first.
Yeah, Money in the Bank first. And then because we also had Heatwave, which is, exactly what's going on now.
A lot of newsworthy stuff came out of NXT, which going into it, I thought it was going to be a normal show, but we'll get into it. But Money in the Bank, we opened with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and Chad Gable. Jay, thoughts first on the field?
Going into this match, although we had our already locked in predictions, I still said that it would have been a toss-up for any of us to even say that we could have possibly changed our minds anytime during this match. Such a strong Jay following. We also had a Chad also following as well. LA Knight definitely.
LA Knight's still over.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Drew.
So there were possibilities here for this to could change hands at any moment.
Any noteworthy spots you remember off the top of your head? Because I think the one that sticks out to me is with Chad Gable almost getting the briefcase, but the ladder being taken away from him and him hanging above the ring. That spot that always scares me because that could go wrong so many ways. And then once he let go, he just belly flopped on the fucking mat.
Yeah, you got that one. There was the one that he took on the ladder that was on the side of the ladder, not directly on the flat side of the ladder. It was right off the corner, and he took a bump right off of that. That was one that could actually, as they would say, that could disturb the lower lumbar region. Yeah,
you had Andrade. I think he destroyed it to Carmelo on the leg, which took them both out. And also, they were in Canada, so we had to have a destroyer in this match.
Well, at least one.
But there was a couple later, but coming out of this match, I was correct. I called Drew McIntyre winning, and he won the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Jesus,
he did promise.
And you forget how he won it by javelin throwing a ladder into Jay's face.
Yeah, that is true. Jay was about to win, and then all of a sudden you just see a ladder come from the bottom of the screen, aiming at Jey Uso's head.
Oof,
that shit.
Oof, that could have sent him to a dentist's office immediately.
Yeah, and you know what the perfect thing about that spot too is that all the stories just keep blending in together because Drew still hates this motherfucker from getting screwed over all those years ago.
Right.
And he just took that. He had no disregards. He threw that ladder with fucking malice, and he got that briefcase. And he did promise he was going to cash in later in the night, so we'll get into that later. But
so
overall, I would say really good ladder match, very brutal.
Yeah, I didn't
have the women's one. We'll talk about later.
Yeah.
This one,
I didn't have any problems with this match. Like I said, although it was predictable, it was still fun. Able to maintain and watch. So I was happy with the outcome.
You know what I was shocked about this one? There was no interference from anything. Like there was no Wyatt Six, there was no Alpha Academy interference. There was like nothing.
No
Logan Paul. Just straightforward. I was genuinely surprised.
No, none at all.
But
No.
next up, we had Sami Zayn defending the Intercontinental title against Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker, thank the Lord, has new entrance music.
Oh, thankfully, yeah, good. I'm very much inclined to say that it was much needed and it was coming. It should have happened some time ago.
If this guy's gonna be your future star, he doesn't need generic music. Thank God they fixed that shit right away.
Not at all.
But this match was a star-making performance for Braun, despite the outcome. Like Braun just continues to impress me every time he's out there. The spot where he's running the ropes at like fucking like Sonic the Hedgehog speeds, like it's fucking ridiculous, and the ring fucking moves with them. Like that spot is just insane. Just how fast this dude is.
Yeah, it's so impressive how even just the steps that he takes, just back and forth against the ropes, just indicates that he works at such a high intense level. But many have said that it's almost like getting, knocked down by a feather. So that's a beautiful a beautiful way of how much he's grown. Remember early on we've always said that he was greener than goose shit, but we've now seen that with the hard work he's been putting in, the kid he's got very much a rocket ship on his back for star power potential.
The fucking hands behind his head Frankenstein that he does is insane. The springboard to his opponent onto the announce table is insane. This dude's arsenal is just so 2K fucking perfect for everybody.
Shit, how old is he? He's what, maybe 26?
Mid-20?
Yeah, 26,
mid-20s,
something like that. Shit. It's amazing to see how much he's grown in the past couple of years, and just how, although it's already inbred with his genetics and his lineage as such, it still takes a lot for
26.
you to for you to come out and do what it is that you can do, and at such high intensity.
He's such a mixture of his dad's Rick and his Uncle Scott. It's just fucking insane.
Yeah, it definitely is. Even his like just his cadence on the mic when he speaks, or even when he's just in an interview in the back when he's talking to Adam Pearce or whatever. It screams Steiner, but you will also get that it's its own as well.
Right.
Shout out to brother AJ. He just got out of work on Instagram.
But Braun Breaker did lose. I think we did predict this, but Sami Zayn did retain. As far as him taking a loss here, it doesn't hurt him that much. Like, everybody really needs to relax here. Everybody needs to calm down on the whole. Oh, like both companies don't know how to make stars. This dude is a star regardless of the winner or loss. So he is going to get this Intercontinental title soon, but I didn't take this loss as big as everybody else did as well. I mean, I hope you agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I was okay with that. There's this. I know Meltzer was kind of on the fence with it, but he's also with that same mentality of what the old school WWE mindset is, which is you got to earn it. It can't be just given to you, as opposed to other companies. Yeah, with that. Any case, yeah, and I
didn't want to go there.
And this is a stepping stone, and I honestly say that it didn't bury either one of them. I thought they had a splendid match, a really solid match.
More than likely, we're probably getting a four-way at SummerSlam, like with Breaker, Zayn, Sheamus, and if he comes back with Vic Kaiser. Because overall, the Intercontinental title scene is loaded because you have Bronson Reed as well, Ilya Dragunov in the mix.
Right.
It's a good mixture of guys. It's so.
Chad is still there. Chad is still in the mix.
It's like this Intercontinental title was treated such like a joke for so many years, and now it's taken so seriously.
Yeah, and I'm glad it is too because we needed that.
Because once Sammy drops this to either Braun or whoever it's going to be, Zayn's going to be moving up into the main event scene, and whoever he gives the Intercontinental title to, I think it's still going to be in good hands. So
yeah.
Then we had the host of Money in the Bank, Trish Stratus, come out and introduce her celebrity best friend, John Cena. Wapadoo came back, and he had some breaking news for us where he is gonna retire next year. And this was funny throughout the whole night because he goes, "My last match will be WrestleMania 41." Then flash forward to the media scrum, I'll do 30 to 40. And I joked in the bar too because he had on the back of his shirt. I was like, "Oh my god, he has the Forbidden Door on his shirt."
Well,
overall thoughts, Jay?
We could see something like that. Could happen.
I forgot what it says though. It's like last rodeo, last stand.
I forgot what it was. It's something like
Let me look it up. What you're talking about?
The time the time is up. The last is now. Something like that. It's something like that way. But yeah, he mentioned at the scrum that it's not WrestleMania, so he's gonna do his victory lap all through 2025.
On the back, it's a door, and it says, "After this, you can't see me."
Right. Okay. So yeah, I could see that. Thankfully, he didn't. It's not going to be WrestleMania. He's going to do a full 2025 tour, and that'll be it. That'll be him closing the chapter of the C Nation and the career of John Cena, which is, it's time. Hollywood is his new home now. He does a lot of things, voiceover work, TV shows, movies. He's everywhere, So, and that's his whole focus now, and good for him.
Once he made success off the Peacemaker stuff, he cemented himself, and also with a lot of the smaller projects too. I mean, I was watching one of his older movies. I think it was like Cock Blockers.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was fucking funny as hell in that movie. Like the same thing with with The Rock and Batista. They started off in small, shitty little projects until now they're up in big projects where they're the stars that they are. But Cena, I've always seen the debates about should he get the 17th world title? And what's he gonna do for the whole year? Is he gonna take spots away from people? I mean, and somebody also brought up too that this is basically WWE's version of Sting's retirement in AEW.
Right. So here's my thought about that. The Ric Flair 16-time world championship.
It's not real.
It's not real. He's actually had more. He had more reigns elsewhere.
He says it's like 23.
Yeah, it's about 22, 23. The same could be said about the person who had the most title reigns in wrestling history. Is like Jerry Lawler. He had 75, 80 fucking title reigns. So that's something different. But for WWE to make one that says, Cena should be the one to say, yeah, he should break it. He should be the one that breaks it.
What just popped up on the screen?
Yeah, trying to get it. What it says. He's hosting Shark Week. Yeah, he's everywhere.
Does Honda commercials in Hefty? Yeah.
And he's also like the peanut, like the elephant for the pistachios. He does everything. He does voiceovers on video games.
I was wondering where you were going. With that.
Oh no,
he's the peanut of what?
he's the elephant.
Oh my god, I know he's the golden goose of WWE. I wouldn't call him a fucking peanut.
All right. He's everywhere, man, but, and he's and for him to break it, I get it. Like he should break it. He should break it. It's fine. I have no qualms about that.
Yeah, about this. There's three scenarios I could see because he did announce he's going to be at WrestleMania 41.
Mm-hmm.
3 matches off the top of my head after his announcement. One, it's John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE title.
Don't see that.
That's one. You could also Gunther defending the world title against John Cena.
I could see that.
or the one that our friend Ricky pitched to us, Cena and Orton. They never wrestled at WrestleMania, and they've done interviews saying they want to do it at WrestleMania. At least one last time.
That would probably be his WrestleMania moment match.
Right.
Punk has even said that he would like to get one match with him before he goes out the door. That's actually a good, entertaining one as well.
Because if we're booking WrestleMania 41, the more likely options are Rock and Cody, Punk and Rollins, and then Gunther against whoever, and then Punk and Rollins. Punk and Rollins, Cody and Rock. That's probably the main two, and then everybody else is fair game.
So who's but who's the retirement match? Who does he get to give the retirement match to?
Well, it would be at the end of the year, right? It's like WrestleMania is not his retirement match.
No, it'll probably be like Survivor Series or whatever.
Oh, he'll definitely do War Games.
Right.
They'll definitely do a story where a faction try to kill it. I don't know, maybe the new Bloodline or whatever. See, it's so hard to predict because WWE is doing the Bloodline storyline. They have the Wyatt Six, like the Judgment Day is still around. John Cena has a lot of options where it could be. There's a lot of good options where you can go back on reliables like Punk and Orton, like that'd be fine. But like he did say, like he definitely wants to do the Chamber, the Money in the Bank, the War Games. Like he's open to fucking everything at this point for his retirement.
What's the like I said? But think about it. He's only had the two matches with Rock, right?
Yeah,
the two Mania matches. So why not? Let's get the blow off on the third match. Put retirement match.
Thrice in a lifetime.
Yeah, and give them both the retirement stipulation. Whoever, well, we already know one of them is going to retire. John Cena's already said it, but now Rock got to put his up in the air as well.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so
there's also Roman Reigns too. That's another option as well.
And you got to remember too.
Like I said,
we got to remember too. He's not obligated to any just one show. He could go to any show. So.
Right, yeah, he's open to everything. So the field is open for everybody, and also too, I assume that he's going to be a free agent, not stay strictly on one show. So
right,
we're going to see a lot of brand hopping. Which I mean, at this point with WWE, they try to do something with the brand split, but if it's John Cena, he's the lone exception. That fucking Omos.
What are you clicking over there? Stop being so fidgety. What's next? What else we got?
We had the World Heavyweight title match. We had Damian Priest defending against Seth Rollins. This match was good until the botch with the referee. Bischoff says breaker for retirement. If you want to make a start, yeah.
Yeah. If you want to put somebody over, that'll work. The match was good. The match was great. It's fine.
But until Rollins hit the Falcon Arrow superplex onto Priest, ref counts 1, 2. Priest doesn't move at all, and ref just stops and says, "No, that's a 2." Now, what was supposed to happen was Drew McIntyre's music was supposed to stop this. It's like the ref would be distracted, but they mistimed this horribly. And it looked bad altogether. So then Drew came out with the briefcase, cashed in. It became official. And then I think like 5 seconds later, CM Punk starts running out and beats the shit out of Drew McIntyre. Goes for a steel chair, but sees the world title, hits Drew in the head with it. And Damian Priest retains. So for the third time in a year, CM Punk has cost Drew McIntyre the World Heavyweight title. And the best part about this at the end was that they had Seth Rollins show how pissed he was because this is a spoiler for Monday Night Raw, but they basically just revoked on the stipulations that they gave for this match. But
right,
Rollins at that point, it was like, you just cost me a title match for the foreseeable future. And we know eventually we're going to get Punk and Rollins. But Jay, overall thoughts?
First of all, bend the Brit Mook. All right, so thought it was great storytelling, to say the least. Thought it was great storytelling. I also believe that they've found a way to masterfully weave old school wrestling with new school storytelling. Yes, they did. They missed their cue. It's unfortunate because it made Damien kind of look bad, made the referee kind of look bad. But at the same time, I thought that it made more sense for this to happen. I know a lot of people were upset that what a waste of a Money in the Bank. It's like, no, you fucking guys. We just had a Money in the Bank that dragged for a year, bro. Like, okay, we're good with this one. It's fine. It's more about the quality of the the storytelling than the quantity of days of holding that fucking briefcase. Let's get that let's get that a point across.
Yeah, they didn't kill the Money in the Bank briefcase. They used it perfectly for this event, for this matchup, for the storyline. Because as much as I like Money in the Bank, it's at this point where it's been played out, where you've done everything under the sun with it. So, I mean, aside from what they did with the women later, I mean, this was the most obvious thing to do with the men's briefcase at this point.
Right. I don't know.
They both unfortunately ruined this match. For me, it was so obvious. Apparently, Priest was genuinely injured from the move. That's what I initially thought too. I thought Priest got maybe knocked out, got knocked loopy, and maybe forgot to kick out. But at the minute Drew's music hit, I was thinking, oh, they fucked up. Like the referee was supposed to maybe do a slow count, to remind me the Starcade thing all over again. Right. I had flashbacks of that, but it was like it was like so many things going on where the music was late. Maybe Priest got knocked loopy because definitely the Priest said something to the ref,
right?
And then Rollins said something because they probably looked at each other like, "What do we do?" Because they're probably waiting for the music to hit, and then it does, and then they just moved on. But
yeah, I didn't think it took for him to be injured or anything like that. I just think it was just a miscue. That's all I took it as.
Right. This botch was not as silly as the one at the main event. Let's just say that.
Oh, okay. So next up,
we have the women's Money in the Bank. We had Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Zoe Stark, Naomi, and who else was on this? Lara Valkyria.
Mm.
So these women nearly killed themselves in this match, where Zoe Stark tried to do something to, I think it was Io Sky, and basically just hit her head on the ladder on her own. That was the most ridiculous thing in the match. She then her and Io Sky hit an emerald explosion onto the ladder, and then Io's body just folded, and then Chelsea and Tiffany worked together. There was a fan cam that had them both outside, and Chelsea fanned Tiffany to wake up at one point, and then they set up two tables that would actually go be for the finish, where they actually had us thinking Chelsea Giddens about to win this thing, but then Tiffany Stratton came out of nowhere and pushed her off that ladder, and Chelsea landed through two tables on the outside. That was the most insane thing in this match.
Brenda Britt says the pile driver from Io Sky on Zoe Stark was unbelievable.
Yep. Yeah, it was a pile driver. My bad.
Yeah.
I applaud Chelsea Green. She was amazing.
Yeah, that right there should put her in the line of the possible 2 mid-card titles for the women's division. That's supposedly happening.
Yeah, they're gonna bring in the women's U.S. and Intercontinental for both shows respectively. Which I'm at this point where I'm fine with it because the women's rosters need something of a boost. Because I mean, you have a lot of talented women who aren't gonna get the main title, so might as well give them something to fight for. But yeah, I mean, Chelsea Green was one of these people that, if you would have said a year ago she would be in this match, I would have been laughing because it's she's a jobber. She's nobody on the roster, but she has gotten herself over. Her character work is incredible. Her in-ring stuff is great. So, and just I shared the photo that somebody took from the event. Just the way she fell, that ladder was high. She went through 2 fucking tables.
Yeah. Ricky Rod on Instagram says the women's Money in the Bank was awesome, and you know what? They haven't disappointed in the past couple of years, man. They go out there and they show and prove, and they're really putting in their work, and I'm happy that they're and to me it looks safe, you know, although that they're
This was match of the night.
yeah, and although they put in their bodies on the line, and things can occur. And the one thankful thing that Triple H said at the press conference is that nobody walked out of here with injuries, which was a great showing.
People seem to forget how good Chelsea Green was. Oh yeah, and then the match with Pentagon Jr. I mean, like I said, Chelsea Green is very talented. It's just that the first impression that they gave us was when they eliminated her like 5 seconds in the Royal Rumble. But like I said, her character work and in-ring stuff definitely holds water to how talented she is. And it's, like, people are like, oh, why the fuck is she in this match? I mean, they're in Canada. They wanted the hometown girl in the match. And she delivered on her. Naomi did good. Lyra did good. Zoe nearly killed herself. Io nearly killed herself. And then we had Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time. She got the money. She won the women's Money in the Bank. I've been saying this for over a month now. And she alluded to it that she's going to bedazzle it or color pick,
Right.
fucking make it a hand purse.
I do do have to say that we did kind of call that. We did call that, you know, especially
months ago.
Yeah, you did make that a prediction. It wasn't a prediction. It was a spoiler, but also at the same time, I have to say that she's the one that fits it perfectly. She's the one that it's that heel / new up and comer that's on the radar that she doesn't have to cash in like tomorrow. She can cash in down the line, and it'll be a good waiting game for her.
We haven't had a female cash in at WrestleMania yet, so she might be the first.
Right. Also, I have to say that I want to hear and see what the reception is going to be for Chelsea on SmackDown, because, you know, she's their girl, and I want to see if the crowd shows her love.
Oh, they definitely will, but they're gonna continue to push her as a heel. But you know what? She's perfect as a heel, honestly.
Right.
Same with Tiffany. She got a monster reaction, but the clear direction is to keep them both as heels, honestly.
Good match for sure. Chelsea will get her turn for sure. Oh, definitely. Good match all around.
Like Jay alluded to, she could be the next. She could be the first women's U.S. champion.
Yeah, definitely.
And Chelsea, this is not like the first time she took a crazy bump like this. She did the same type of bumps in TNA, and like alluded to Lucha Underground. Like she's willing to risk her body for wrestling. She's willing to do it to get herself over.
Yeah, and and like I said, it
was well done to her.
And like I said, it looked good. It looked safe. It looked good, and everybody walked out. Unscathed. It was good.
Now we have the main event. We have the 6-man tag where Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens battled the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Tamatanga, and Jacob Fatu.
Shockingly. Shockingly.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, like Tonga Loa is not on the level of Jacob Fatu, so that was probably the best decision they did for this matchup, because the minute Jacob Fatu tagged in, Randy hit his signature DDT on the apron, and then Jacob Fatu stood up and no-sold the shit out of it. Star.
Yeah.
That made him a fucking beast.
But I said shockingly because of his criminal past in history. You wouldn't think that he would have been able to go into Canada, but you know, WWE must know some people who know some people. They got him in there.
Yeah, Michael Cole said that Triple H and WWE were fighting to get him across the border, and they were able to do it. So good on them. And they knew when they were picking this guy up that how big of a star he's gonna be. So good on them. I mean, like I said, the draping DDT spot, he stood up. He looked very good in this matchup. And then the match was like, you could say it was like a TV main event, but it had that feeling of like this is very personal, and a lot is on the line in this matchup. And then we had the spot where Kevin Owens has Tama Tonga in package pile driver position, and then you had Tonga Loa, who had one job. Low blow Kevin Owens. One job. He missed it, basically just tapped his balls, and then he tried again. And in the process of giving Kevin Owens a low blow, he hit his brother in the top of his head so fucking hard. This was the most ridiculous thing. Oh, my God.
Well, luckily for Samoans, they are known to have hard heads. So apparently
they have hard heads.
It didn't affect them too much. It didn't do too much damage. It'd been funny because that raised eyebrow that he usually does would have switched to the other side when he hit him in the head. But yeah,
the eyebrow would have been dented into his skull.
Yeah, I agree. This was basically a TV match, but this was a launching pad for Jacob. This was his match, and it sure enough it showcased what it is that what he's going to be capable of doing. And mind, we only saw just an inkling of what this man could do in that match, because we've seen him live, we've seen him in other places, and my God, there's so much that's coming from him, and there's so much that he has in his arsenal that I can't wait for WWE's universe to embrace what's going to happen with this guy.
Oh, I want 2K25 now.
Right?
Put him and the Tongans in the fucking game.
Yeah, you know, when they gave us Mia Yim last year, and who else?
Candice LeRae.
And Candice LeRae.
Like
you know what? Let's throw Jacob in there. Let's do that.
Him and the Tongans.
Yeah, definitely. So I could clear up my fucking creative wrestling slots.
And you know what the funny thing is that his entrance is already in the game.
Really?
Yeah. Remember we talked about that? That was one of the rare indie guys that had like an in-game entrance already.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Yeah. True, right. Samoan Werewolf is in there, yeah. I thought you were talking about with the fire and all that shit. I was like, really? That's in there? Shit.
Oh, no. Yeah. But just towards the end of the match where he did a fucking whisper in the wind to Cody Rhodes. And then you had Solo. And then you followed up with like Solo hitting his fucking Samoan Spike, and he gets the pin. I'm like, fucking Fatu should have got the pin at this point. Like, Jesus Christ! But I understand what they're doing. They're telling a story, and now Solo pinned Cody, and there's your SummerSlam match right there. So,
yeah,
other than that, I give the show 2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
solid Money in the Bank show.
I was pleased. I had a good time with it. Also, like I said, it's just intriguing now with what's going to be the build up and the possible matches for SummerSlam. We definitely got to see Kevin Owens versus Jacob Fatu. That has to happen. A singles match has to happen. Don't give it to me on some SmackDown shit. No, I need that as a SummerSlam match.
You say that, but more than likely that's probably going to be the SmackDown in Cleveland beforehand, where it's going to be Owens and Fatu.
Nah, fuck.
Because you mentioned the card. Because you mentioned the card. I have the card like right here for SummerSlam, where more than likely I think it's probably going to be 7 matches this time around for SummerSlam.
Mm.
So more than likely we're going to get Drew versus CM Punk, Cody versus Solo for the WWE title. Already confirmed for the world title. It's going to be Damian Priest versus Gunther, which should be excellent. Women's WWE Women's title, Bayley versus Nia Jax as a result of Nia winning the Queen of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
We have more than likely we're going to get Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the U.S. title, and then a spoiler for Raw with her return. More than likely we're going to get Liv versus Rhea at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. I would pitch Dominic be the referee.
Ooh, that'll be good.
And then also we need to talk about the angle they did afterwards. So they had Drew storm the after show panel, basically just being pissed off, and then he elbowed Adam Pearce. And then on Twitter, like Pearce finds him and Punk for undisclosed amount, and then suspends Drew McIntyre. Drew Punk. He suspends Drew, and then I love Drew's clapback. He goes, "If you knew how to do your job, you dumb bald bastard."
I love it. I love that Scrapyard is getting involved in this. I love that Adam Pearce is in the mix. You guys remember, man, that's a former NWA champ right there. So he can get down with the nitty gritty if he needs to.
remember when they like first introduced him during the pandemic era? Like he was on both fucking shows trying to like be the Law, and then basically it was just at that point it was like annoying because nobody really knew him that much. But
Right.
now that the audience is used to him, I mean they've done a really good job with the authority figures on both Raw and SmackDown because Nick Aldis as well on SmackDown is excellent. But yeah, so that's Money in the Bank. So now we go on to NXT Heatwave,
which was it pissed me off because luckily I caught it on time because on certain outlets they were telling me it was at 8:00. I caught that shit right on time. I said, let me leave it on here just in case.
Meanwhile, for Money in the Bank, they had their pre-show on 2-hour pre-show. Shit didn't start it started at 7. There was no need to have a 2-hour pre-show.
Yeah,
there was going to be no matches.
Thank goodness, because it gave me enough time to go run around and get my Chromecast because the pay-per-view outlets wasn't working at Seneca, so I was luckily able to get my my Chromecast.
Yeah, but
brother AJ, I know, I feel the same way.
So when they did have a match on it, they had
what was that?
What you say?
No, sorry. He says a hard. Brother AJ said a lager would hit right now. You ain't lying.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, man. Friday.
They had the hometown girls, Carmen Petrovic and Ariana Grace, defeat JC Jade and Jasmine Nix. Any thoughts on
this? No, it was all right. It was a fairly decent match. It was fine.
With WWE, it's so weird when they come to the women's tag teams. I mean, because let's be real here, the WWE women's tag team titles are supposed to be defended on all 3 shows. If they're insistent on it, I mean, the main roster women are not coming down to NXT at any point. There's no signs of it. They're not telling us anything about it. Just bring back the NXT women's tag belts. You have teams down there that they're forming under, like, right in front of us.
Right.
Jade and Nix, fucking Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend are a fucking team. Like, give them the belts. Like,
right. Well, listen, it's like
you want the women to be on the same level as the men. Give them the belts, like, to be. Like,
listen, we just saw a new faction. We just saw a new faction emerge on Monday Night Raw. Those belts got to get into rotation, man.
I mean, some people on Twitter just like are so original. They were just like, oh, Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark, the lesbians, fucking idiots. But
thank Rob for the hookup right there, boy. Rob on TikTok just hit us up with a sticker. Good job, brother. Thank you very much, sir, for the love.
Yeah, they had Carmen and Ariana for the win, and then we get on to the main show where we opened with Wesley challenging Oba Femi for the NXT North American Championship.
Now this, woo, boy, I didn't even keep in mind just about the weight differential with these two men. I just love the
size
fact,
difference
and the size as well. I was more into the fact of how both these men worked well with each other, and Wesley's quickness, ability to counter, get off, and whatever he can. But when you see Oba just being able to fly him wherever he needs to fly him all over the place, it's just astonishing to know that he can do the same thing to big men his size.
This dude is a real life Super Saiyan. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The presentation, the character. This dude, I mean, and this guy's still green. He's not even like a year into the business.
Yeah, it's a testament to say that WWE. A lot of people have said about the NXT Next in Line, their program. The past
when they bring in the college recruits,
right? The past 2 years, or even not even the recruits, just anybody in that they feel deemed are athletic enough. They found that they found some talent there, and so sure enough, it's becoming a success. It's not only just having to farm with the indies. You can make stars happen from other outlets of sports.
They took the Bianca Belair mold and just used that for everybody, like Breaker, Stratton, and now Oba. And then Oba just basically killed Wesley this whole entire match, but Wesley sold like a god for him, and then you had Oba win, so now Wesley came out to challenge for the North American title. Also, think about it, going into this weekend, they had 2 matches with the same stip that the challengers, if they lost, couldn't challenge for the title anymore. So
Right.
It was like weird that it was like Triple H and Shawn Cop. Triple H and Shawn.
Yeah, it's
But,
yeah, but to say the least, like I said, for Oba getting the win here, and there's a possibility that Moose might come pay a visit.
not with him. I'll get to that later. Because let's be real here. Oba Femi is a more agile, movable version of Omos. So if I'm Omos, I'm staying away from my phone. Because Damon Kemp's fucking contract got
Well, it expired, so
he didn't get renewed. He didn't get renewed, so he's done for. So if I'm Omos, I'm kind of staying away from social media for a little bit.
Yeah, somebody
filming YouTube videos.
I saw an article just today that was like, "Hey, what Omos is doing these days?" I'm like, don't even start putting that out there, because the bad juju's going to follow after that.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we had the NXT Women's North American title. We had Sol Ruca challenge Kalani Jordan, and this match was very interesting, just based on what Brian and Dave said, the old reliables, where they go, this match was too choreographed.
I agree.
And then everybody started sharing the whole Ricochet Will Ospreay thing from New Japan and how they praised it and all this other shit. It's just like,
yeah, definitely. No, definitely, it is. It's 2 athletic individuals, and it was 2 choreographed. Yeah, no, they're right, and it was a spot show. Definitely, there was nothing wrong with it. I get it. I felt that. Yeah.
Yeah, the match was fine. I liked it. It's just that the fact that they would say that, and then people would just be like, "Wait a minute, but you like other shit." Like, it doesn't make any sense sometimes.
No, yeah. You could put any Ospreay and Enter said gymnast match. it's gonna get the same kind of feel.
Yeah.
So
this was a show, and this was a showcase for both of them. You had Kalani Joy making her first pay-per-view defense with the title. So Ruka, who's coming off a ACL tear, so she had something to prove in this match. And I don't want to be that person, but Kalani Jordan retains with one titty popping out.
Why be that person? You weren't the reason why her titty came out. You good, unless you was wishing it and you have magical powers. It made it happen. No,
that's what happened, people.
And it happened twice.
What happened?
A titty came out twice. it creeped out before, she fixed it, and it came out again.
I have to get something to check. But talk about the next match. We had Chase U versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
I was kind of upset with this because I did actually wanted to see Chase U get the win here. I'm actually been a big fan of what's happening with Chase U and the intertwining of bringing in a Rich Holland character as well. I like that idea of him playing along with it for the moment. Thea Hale, I love her. I love her energy. I love her spunkiness. I'm a big fan of her ring work. Like, there's something energetic about her. She has a lot of upswing in her wrestling, and I think there's some potential there for her. And attaching her with Chase U is such a big it's a big boost for her gimmick. I also believe that Axiom and Nathan Frazier, great fucking tag team. I mean, it's a classic high flyer mix of double teaming and such. I believe they're a great tag team as well. I have a great big affinity for them, but I was really looking forward to seeing Chase U get the win here.
Yeah, I thought Chase was going to get the titles here, especially with the story they were telling, where Nathan Frazier was like 2 hours late before the match, and they're teasing that if he doesn't show up, Axiom had to go solo. So
Right.
and they also had a thing with Rich Holland was banned from ringside, or they told him not to come. So I'm just wondering with this team is that how it's going to fit on the main roster. You have like Andre Chase, who was like this aggressive professor who's like wrestling now as well. You have Duke Hudson, who sometimes acts like a heel, but I mean the shit that he was doing in this match alone. I mean, he did the Trish Stratus faction out of the corner.
Mm-hmm.
It actually looks really good.
Yeah, I think.
And then of course you have Axiom and Nathan Frazier, who are great cruiserweights, who are like a weird makeshift team that are like rivals who want to one up each other, but again, like they're a solid tag team.
I just wish they would take his mask off. A-Kid is a good looking kid. Let him rock without the mask. He's good. He's cool. But
I love how they keep like referencing him. Like I have the mask with it. Like I don't know where that guy went. What was it, A-Kid?
A-Kid.
He's just standing there, like, and like you don't see his facial expressions, but he kind of looks at the camera like, really.
yeah, I'm kind of like on the ball with like what's going on with him, but at the same time, it's like, come on, we gotta drop that, bro. We gotta drop that. Get that mask off of him.
Also, I was thinking about the tag team division NXT. There's not really that many. Like they have like a bunch of teams from the main roster coming down, like Angel and Humberto like stick around. The Good Brothers are still around. It's like that's the one thing they lack. And then like they have two teams that pretty much have the same fucking gimmicks. Like what are they doing?
Right. Well, like I said, it still needs to get the kinks worked out. And believe me, Shawn Michaels and that team down there, they're doing a spot on job getting things going on over there. So, hell, they got me coming back to watch NXT.
If the rumors are true, they're going to be getting a good tag team coming soon. Motor City Machine Guns. If that rumor is true,
yeah, I heard that. I'm trying to see. I'm not a rumor guy. I'm more about getting the legitimate out of it. So yeah, I want to see if that's legit.
Well, Tommaso Ciampa did put a picture of them on his Instagram, so maybe it's nothing, or it's just adding fuel to the fire. But I mean, Motor City in NXT right now would be special.
Yeah.
But next up, we had Roxanne Perez defend against Lola Vice. This definitely was a match. I don't know how I feel about this match.
Wasn't a great showing by both ladies. The chemistry wasn't there between them.
Right.
Roxanne was.
Lola's gimmick, I still don't get it.
She's the feisty, fiery Latina, but she's also like trying to.
Wants to twerk.
Yeah, but wants to like. She wants to know. She wants people to know that she's a legit fighter, but yet doesn't show it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a little bit irky jerky with her, but at the same time, she's got skill. It's there. Roxanne, we know is an up and coming and even better work than we would think for her age. But for these two, the chemistry wasn't there for this match. Yeah, it wasn't there.
Roxanne hit like 5 pop rocks,
exactly
on this woman, and it was like it got to the point of ridiculous. Like it got ridiculous. Even my friend Harvey was like, "Stop kicking out of this finish." Like, by like the fucking third one, it was like ridiculous.
I think it's probably.
And it's also Lola Vice. Like she's not on that level yet. Roxanne is on a different level than all of these girls, which is kind of a bad thing, but it's also like she's the most talented one out of all of them so far. And it's like when you think about who she's gonna drop the belt to, I mean, it could be Julia, but that's the only person that comes to mind. I mean, Cora Jade and Nikita Lyons are still out with ACL tears, and they're probably next up.
Well, that, and I think the issue is that since she's new, Lola Vice, we don't we don't really want to put the rocket on her back yet. But at the same time, a couple of those pop rocks were a little botched as well. Like there was a little off. Like
she took her time with that. She got on her back and was making sure like, okay, let me go slow as possible and make sure Lola takes the bump.
Yeah, but she took the bump, and it's like there was almost at the point where she's gotten to the ring by the ropes already, and it's like, Jesus, like, all right, we get it.
5 of them. It gets silly when Cody's trying to hit the crossroads 3 times. This was on another level.
Right. No, I understand what you mean. I get that.
But, I mean, like I said, probably her next challenger is probably Julia at this point. Nobody else on the NXT women's roster stands out at this point. But then we had the main event, which had the most shocking result of the whole fucking weekend. We had Trick Williams defend against Javon Evans, Sean Spears, and Old Ego Ethan Page. Ethan Page, the minute he came out, because he's from Canada, came out in red, white, and blue gear, and on the back of his jacket said, "Resident of the USA." What a heel!
I have to say that did pop me. I was laughing when I saw that.
Jay, thoughts on Javon Evans, who's only 20 years old?
Who, our boy Jay Malachi?
Yeah. Shout out to the Indies that this dude. I watch this stuff from DPW and VXS and all those places like that. This dude is fucking impressive, and he's only 20 years old. He's been wrestling pro for 6 years.
But you know what's crazy is that we've seen him before, and where we saw him with Mark Quinn. I mean, this is Mark Quinn in his early days when in HOG. This is Mark Quinn. I mean, it is. The only thing that I can say with Malachi is that, Evans, is that he has different moves. Like he has different aerial moves. But it's the same thing when we saw Mark Quinn do it 7 years ago, when we saw him jump over the turnbuckle into the crowd. We saw him do freaking and we were like, oh shit, this kid is impressive. We're looking at the same thing with Javon Evans, the same way. And it's not taking anything away from him. The kid he's exceptional. He's impressive to look at. The only thing that I have to say is, I was worrying about him, about how he takes bumps and sells bumps. This fucking match, oh please, that spot he took when he hit the announcer's table, shit.
Oh, when Trick hit him with the trick shot knee and Javon just jumped off the apron, and he didn't even land on top of the announce table. He landed ribs first, and the announce table broke.
Yeah, I thought he was donezo after that one. I thought it was forget it, but he bounced back from it fairly quickly. I was kind of shocked by that, but yeah, he took his bumps in his match here.
The whole match was basically Trick Williams playing defense. And basically, it was a showcase for Javon Evans. Just the height he gets off, like he's jumping off the top rope, going for cutters.
Right.
The air he gets, it's insane. And then you have Ethan Page doing his stuff. Sean Spears. I thought when they made this match, it was like, oh, Sean's gonna eat the pin. 1, 2, 3, easy. Trick retains. Nope. We get to the finish where Trick hits his knee on Javon, so Javon goes down. Then he hits his knee on Ethan, and then Ethan lands on Javon, and then you have Sean Spears grab Trick, which, thinking back to it, was like, why did you do that? But he pulled him out of the ring, and Trick's struggling to break up the pin. It's because Ethan lands on Javon where he's pinning him. 1, 2, 3.
Right. Sean didn't see that. Sean didn't see that. He landed on top of Evans for the pin.
Right.
Remember, he was
just reacted to Trick out of the ring.
Right.
So Trick's trying to break it up, and then Ethan gets the win. Ethan Page, 2 months in to NXT champion.
But
way better than his AEW run.
He didn't win clean, as we may say. He won with the shocking win. And it's not like they just gave it to him. This was a shocking win. So
exactly,
this
everybody in the crowd was had the shocked Undertaker lost face.
Right.
Like this was nuts.
So yeah, I could see, and I can see it work, especially right now. There was a lot of people who were very skeptical with how Trick has been with the championship so far. They still believe that he's got a lot of work to go. And for someone like him, yeah, you got the title, you had a run. Now there's a couple of more tangibles in the mix. You and Javon are gonna have to have like a face off, because like you mentioned, Trick is gonna mention and say, hey, basically that match I was protecting you, and Javon's gonna be like, well, you didn't need to protect me. I was going for your title, So
right.
There's a lot going on there. Sean Spears, Mr. Redemption Man, Mr. Climb his way back into it after being the prodigal son returning. He's gonna have his moment as well to get in. This could be fun for the next couple of weeks.
And then Jay, we're about to end the show. So we had Ethan Page posing with the title, and then the Joe Hendry image, the gif of him turning around, popped up at the end of the fucking pay-per-view. And that was it. That was the end of NXT Heatwave.
Jason from Instagram. Jason from this is a good question. Jason on Instagram, he says the build for Josh Alexander for NXT title. That door is, I'm telling you, there's a lot of possibilities going to be happening here. Mike has already said that a good Worlds Collide is going to be happening with this TNA kind of thing going on.
And NXT versus TNA. Meanwhile, during this week on TNA TV, they're doing Zachary Wentz against Charlie Dempsey, William Regal's kid from NXT.
And there was talk about are we going to see a reunion with our friend from West in NXT with his cohorts in TNA?
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a possibility.
Yeah, so it could be interesting. We can't get something going on with that. I would love to see. I would love to see Josh Alexander working in TNA. I mean, excuse me, NXT. There's some talent there that I want to see him work with.
I will say, after this outcome, I think we pretty much have our two matches set. It's just that the whole thing with Joe Hendry showing up at the end is like it seems like he's the next person for the NXT title, which is weird. But you just with them saying whoever said their Instagram with Josh Alexander, I mean, they are former tag team partners of the North. It would be Ethan Page versus Josh Alexander.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that'd be a perfect matchup. And then for Trick Williams, give him Moose. Let him work with Moose.
I like I said, I would even like for Pete Dunne to make a stop at NXT and have a nice little match with Josh Alexander. Well, you also got.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we have to wait and see. But that's going to close out our review here. I'm going to be doing a little rundown of what happened on the shows this upcoming. I'm looking at Friday. No, sorry, Saturday. We'll do it on Saturday. If you're free, we could do it on Saturday. We'll do a rundown of what happened on this week's shows. Do a little around the square circle. And yeah, I want to touch down everybody who checked in on TikTok. Thanks again for your viewers and such like that. Shout out to our boy Rob Neo O'Regan for showing us some love on the TikTok, and all you guys who viewed us. Numbers are going up on TikTok, guys. So thank you for participating and being a part of that. And also for you guys on Instagram, thank you for showing love. And of course, our YouTubers. Subscriptions need to go up on all spots. So guys, like, subscribe, be a part of the vibe of all things connected to Turnbuckle Tabloid. We're going to start doing spot shows on each set of the socials. And big surprises coming down as well. Got a big announcement coming our way for you guys. So pay attention to that. Keep notice for that, notifications for that as well. And once again, thank you guys for the love, and shout out to my boy Big Dave Green Eyes, who's showing us love on the YouTube. What's up, baby? You came in. We're closing out, love. We're closing out over here, babe. But yeah, and as always, guys, thank you for stopping by. And Mike, where they can find us again?
On Instagram at Turnbuckle Tab, and on X at TurnTabPod.
And as always, guys, don't go anywhere. Stick around when you're listening to this on the podcast. Got more to come. And for you guys that are watching on the live streams, I got to play the outro because Mark doesn't know when the view ends. So check you guys in a sec.
This is the greatest Decepticon of all time, Megatron. When I'm not hunting down Autobots and humiliating Starscream, I'm sitting on my throne listening to Turnbuckle Tabloid.
It's Wrestling Rundown with Jay Santy.
Live from New York, it's Turnbuckle Tabloid.
Are you gonna go see Deadpool? Are you gonna go see Deadpool?
Nah.
You know, do you even go to the movies? Like,
not really. I haven't gone in years. The last movie I think I saw in theaters was Child's Play, the reboot.
wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a throwback. Yeah. You don't even take your nephew like to the movies and stuff like that?
He has his dad for that. So
Oh, like, go see Inside Out 2 and shit like that.
he loves it.
I
He
saw.
loved it.
I took. It's funny because for you guys who've been following the show for years, like super producer Sally has been her title and her on this show, and it so happens that she's getting into the world of filmmaking. So it just so happens that super producer pretty much is hopefully in the lines for her career and such.
Right.
But I say this because doing this show for all these years, 7 years out, like, she's 17. She'll be 17 soon.
Jesus.
And like, even at her age, she turns to me. She goes, "You want to go see Despicable Me 4?" I was like, "Of course." Why not?
Like you didn't want to be the one to be like, do you want to go to the movie?
I'm a Minions guy. I fucking love the Minions. And if you don't even notice, like the colors of Turnbuckle Tabloid, although they're a play on Michigan Wolverines, that's one of my favorite colors, but it's also the Minions colors. So, yeah, so I love it.
Now you know.
Yeah, Bob.
Does she do that thing with the movies? Like she points out things, or like does she point out certain things in movies to you?
Like what?
Like certain camera angles or that type of thing, or she just enjoys watching it.
No, she'll watch it. Like she'll just enjoy it. But there's certain times of like she'll show me like she'll tell me like, oh, this is this kind of lighting that they're using, or that angle they're using is from a 1970 something film or stuff like that. So she's in tune with stuff like that. She's not as obnoxious as I am when it comes to wrestling. With wrestling, I could be obnoxious. Shout out to my boy Keith. Kicking it with the Keith. He messages me this morning. He talks about like, he goes, "Man, I wish I would have known a lot more about wrestling when I was younger." He says, "Because to me, I think it's more fun that way." I says, "Nah, I kind of wish that I don't know what I know now because it kind of takes the fun away from it as well. It's a little bit annoying, but I'm still enjoying it. I still have a good time with it." So, yeah, Super Producer's she's not as obnoxious with it as I am when it comes to this thing. But as always, I am the Norm McDonald of this segment, and you're doing and you're listening and you're part of Wrestling Rundown's weekend update. Number one off the list, Damon Kemp is gone, huh? That was weird.
Yeah, they just let his contract run out.
Right.
Didn't even do it. And I mean, another Dodgek situation.
Yeah, and he was on NXT this past week, wasn't he? They
didn't show him, but they alluded to that they put his body in the trunk.
Right. Oh, so they didn't show him at all.
No, they
okay.
they killed him off screen.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, that was interesting. I liked him. I actually thought he was a better in-ring performer than
Stevenson than Gable.
Yeah, than his brother. Yeah, I actually thought he could have been something. I would have probably even would have maybe aligned him with Gable somewhere along the line. But who knows?
I mean, he had the thing with the no quarter catch crew. But that group just seems like it's fading so fucking fast because it's like it started with Gulak and now it's him.
Yeah,
like the two main people that they started with.
So I think
Charlie Dempsey's the star of the group, but Dan McKemp is one of those guys where they introduced him during the NXT 2.0 days,
right,
as like something big, where like he was like the turncoat of Diamond Mine, and then
the Diamond Mine. Remember that? Yeah,
they did fucking nothing with him until this.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe him going out there and seeing what the world is like in different promotions and stuff. Maybe it'll
get some reps in.
He's still young, so he could get some work going on and. Hopefully down the line they'll bring him back.
You know, eventually he's probably going to team with his brother just to do this thing on the Indies.
Well, his brother right now is on the practice squad for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
what a weird turnaround for his brother.
Maybe that was in the card for him anyway.
Where I know this is like old news, but remember when Gable wanted time off so he could do the Olympics? And WWE said no.
Shit, remember?
And then once they said no to him, they fired him. It's like he could have just went off and did the Olympics again.
Shit, remember when Brock went to go play for the Minnesota Vikings? He was on their practice squad. He actually made it to Madden as well. It was weird.
Yeah, I think him and like Roman are in the Madden game.
Yeah.
Don't even notice.
Next up, mentioned Tyler Bate is going to be out for the rest of the year. Yikers! This one kind of like stung because I was really looking forward to see what the tag team of him and Pete Dunne were going to do. This came out of nowhere and sucks, man. But
happened on NXT, which I think at this point with the NXT, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to get ratings for when they eventually go to the CW.
Yeah,
but, like if your main roster, stay to the main roster because it's like if you're on the main roster and you're going back to NXT, it's kind of a sign of It's almost like a telltale sign of like, did I do something wrong?
No, but I also think that what they're doing is they're trying to elevate NXT to make it not seem like it's their minor league. They want to make it.
They want to make like a third brand.
Like it's their third brand. So
like now they have Cedric Alexander and Shanti the Adonis back in NXT.
Right, which is fine. As a matter of fact, my universe, that's where they're at anyway.
Of course.
I had them there anyway. I foretell a lot of this shit. I kind of do. They're part of Out of the Mud, right?
No.
Oh, I thought they were.
They were doing their own thing. Like they did those weird vignettes where like Ashanti took him like suit shopping or something like that. But
yeah, I think I had them as part of Out of the Mud of my universe.
I'm gonna out myself on this show, because I was doing because I do like AEW cut lists. I did WWE like this time, and it got to a very dangerous level where it was like Paul Cruz, Cedric Alexander, Odyssey Jones, Ashanti the Adonis. I was like, can I have somebody else here? Giovanni Vinci. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, for 2K, if I was told if you want to have an effective WWE 2K model, universe that works, you have to make sure that you don't have over 40 wrestlers on your roster. It has to be from 40 and below, and it flows storyline effortlessly. So
my universe mode got deleted, so I fucking quit. I said, fuck this shit. All my tag teams got fucked up. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
That sucks.
I'm waiting until next year.
Fuck you.
I'm deleting my shit. 2Ks for online now.
Next up, did you hear about the fan that reported AEW for doxing?
And it's going through.
Yeah. Do you know what the case is fully about? How did they dox them?
Is this the one where he said like they stole his ideas?
I don't. Let me look.
Because I remember I know there's one where there's somebody suing both WWE and AEW, and the claim is that both of them stole his ideas.
Well, I could say that about WWE for years. They've been stealing my ideas. Oh my God, I know they listen to the show. I know they do. Stop bullshit. Let me look it up quickly. Yeah, I found it odd, and especially it was done on because it was on X or Twitter, as you know, people may say, and it was a weird because
the headline is like it catches you out like man sues AEW or FBI.
As for WrestleFeed, a fan has reported Tony Khan's AEW to the FBI, accusing the company of inciting doxing. The controversy centers around a Twitter user technically who claimed to be a victim of doxing encouraged by All Elite Wrestling and its fans. He announced on social media that he filed a complaint with the FBI accusing AEW of promoting the exposure of private information and data. He detailed his complaint, alleging that AEW, under Tony Khan's ownership, failed to denounce or address the unethical behavior. Okay, so far I'm still fucking lost, right?
I'm wondering what the first word means. Doxing?
You don't know what doxing is?
No. What's that referred to?
Oh, doxing is when you reveal someone's personal information and put it out on the socials.
God forbid, what fucking personal information is AEW putting about this person?
Technability's complaint, including claims of targeted harassment, data leaks, slander, libel, and other abuse, suggesting a potential class action lawsuit against AEW and its affiliates. Despite the serious allegations, Technability eventually deleted his Twitter account after filing the complaint. Still vague on what it says here for this.
I'm not seeing what they leaked.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tricky thing with doxing because, especially now, it's you got to know exactly what is it that it's being shared that shouldn't be shared publicly. Like, for instance, if I'm saying super producer Selly, everybody knows my daughter. But if somebody went out to go find her real name, her full name, and my address and stuff, and shared it on the internet, that's doxing. That's because I didn't share that. I didn't want that to be revealed. So, as it says, the All Elite Wrestling LLC, along with its subsidiary organizations and internet publications, who have encouraged this behavior, as well as low-level social media users who will be named, that have been tasked with encouraging doxing of anyone with dissenting opinions and various social media platforms against All Elite Wrestling. So apparently, from what I read in that last, I guess Technability might have not had some kind words for AEW. Mm-hmm. And apparently, I don't know if it's the fans or don't know if it's AEW itself, but I guess they revealed some personal shit about this dude. So I don't know.
God only knows what.
We'll see from here on out what's the next level. Next up, WWE announces a new announcer to WWE. Did you see that?
Yes, from ESPN.
You
have his name in front of you?
Joe Tessitore.
And he'd be joining Corey Graves and Wade Barrett on, I'm assuming SmackDown.
And he'll be taking the lead. He'll be taking the Michael Cole spot.
The new Jimmy Smith.
Yeah. So let's see how that works out for them. Good luck, man. I like Corey and Wade.
Corey's actually been doing a good job as a lead commentator on
SmackDown.
It's just that I've been so used to hearing him as the heel guy that goes with them. Not for nothing. If they need announcers, I know everybody has their thing about Vic Joseph, but Vic Joseph, if you put him on the main roster, put him on Raw or SmackDown, whichever show you want him to be on, and pair him with Wade Barrett, they're fine as a team. You know Kevin Kelly's available, right, people?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and if you want to bring him into NXT and have him do some of those small shows and have him work with Booker, maybe that'd be fine.
Yeah, but I think the other thing, too, is that with the lawsuit that he's alleging to have against AEW, they might deem him to be problematic.
Oh, I mean, the guy is outspoken. I mean, when New Japan did the 10-point thing, 10-point presentation about what we need to fix,
right?
And he was very vocal about it. It's like, oh, this is only fucking half of it.
But that and as we always say, Ronaldo, come on, bring him back.
I'll do NXT.
Come on, just do one pay-per-view, one PLE. Come on,
or hire the guy back from who's doing MLW now. He's around in the Indies, so fucking. He's everywhere now.
Who's that?
The guy that does MLW. He does DPW as well. I mean, shit. Like this guy, he was in WWE before, but then they let him go.
I forgot his name. I know you're speaking of, but I forgot his name. Next up, Riho suffers a fractured arm during her match against Lady Frost.
Wrist.
Yeah. Rest up, girl. She's making a lot of money just to stay home.
Well, I didn't
now.
say rest. I said wrist. Like her.
Oh, I thought she
her
fractured
wrist.
her arm. I thought it said arm.
She broke her wrist.
She's making a lot of money, man, and now she could really stay at home and make a lot of money.
She's trying.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks. People, you don't want to see people get hurt.
No. But fractured. But remember, that's what happened with where Rhea, she had a fracture, so that's why she was able to come back so fast. So speedy recovery for Riho. So, what's your thoughts about the rumors of Shane going to AEW?
Fuck them.
Isn't it so? I don't see it. I mean, anything could happen, but
Man McShanus appears on AEW. No, I don't. No,
but like what? Why?
It doesn't help. I said this before we covered it. With somebody, like he's talking to people in AEW about coming in. Who does that benefit?
You would want a McMahon in your building if you're at AEW?
The wrestling world does not need McMahons anymore.
Maybe Stephanie,
I guess.
Maybe Stephanie. Stephanie wasn't.
But she's not like in charge anymore.
Yeah.
She's just Triple H's wife at this
Can you
point.
imagine that there was a time where Stephanie McMahon was the head of fucking creative?
Yeah, those were dark times. You did a parody song telling
Give Shane a company.
Yeah.
I think that
it's so funny with Shane because it felt like WWE, like even his own father was like, "Get the fuck out of here! I don't want to give you shit."
Well, he didn't want to be like his dad, and that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of a pushback.
Truth.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't see it. I don't, like I said, I don't know why you would want. It'll be like seeing Eric Bischoff walking into WWE, but at least there was some creativeness with that. With Shane, what are you gonna do with him there?
A representative of Tony Khan. But Tony Khan's already on fucking TV.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
You're not gonna bring him to fucking wrestle.
No. Next up, Finn Balor has stated that he's has a 5-year contract with WWE. Yay! Woohoo! Yeah. I think he's settled. He's good where he's at. He's happy. Shit, how old is Finn? Finn is almost in his 40s, right?
Yeah,
maybe he's like 30.
By the time he's done with WWE, he'll be 50.
Is he?
No, I would say by the time he's done with WWE, he could be. He's
getting 45,
getting
is it? No, let me see. Get out of here.
No. I'm just saying. By the time, I don't think he's going anywhere after 5 years, but I think he'll remain in WWE forever.
Oh yeah. I think he's done.
I think he's like mid-30s, maybe. Or at least
42. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's in his 40s.
Yeah, he'll be 47 by the time.
Yeah, shit. Wow. Finn, you had a long run there, man. Good for you.
I mean, he's pretty much one of the original Triple H guys.
Yeah.
It's like him, Sammy, and Kevin.
Yeah, he listen, 5 years, you'll be 47. Yeah, he could retire out. Good showing for him. Good job, Finn.
Happily married and was living the life.
Got himself a baddie too. Go ahead. Got himself a baddie Spanish. Okay. Next up. We spoke about it a little while ago in around the square circle, but your thoughts about more coming with the NXT TNA crossover?
It's very interesting to see what they're going to do because a lot of the rumors about TNA with their contracts as well. I mean, for all we know, this could be also NXT WWE testing to see if these guys would work. These men and women would work in NXT. So overall, I think it's good for wrestling, especially with NXT because they need a buzz as well because they're going to CW in the fall. So this would be one of those perfect things to blow off in the summer with TNA. I mean, it's just insane to see the reaction the TNA guys get because it's louder than a lot of some of the people in NXT do at this moment. So.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Bailey would like to see Evolution 2, but have TNA knockouts in it as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the first time with Evolution,
that was strictly PR because they were going to Saudi Arabia and everybody was complaining that the women weren't being used in those shows.
And also, I think that it was at a time and place where the shift of the divas.
They were trying to get over the women's revolution.
Right. And now I think with the how the card is now with the women wrestler, you have a lot of more stable legitimate wrestlers, female wrestlers out there that could actually put on solid matches. If you did it like a card of like 5 or 6, I could see that. That's fine. You know,
could be a good spot to debut mid-card women's belts.
You know, make it be their Forbidden Door dream match scenarios. You know, like to see, you know, maybe like a Su Yung versus a Io Sky or something like that, like those kind of matches. Or what's her name? Martel, from TNA.
You mean Marty Bell?
Bell? No, she's not TNA anymore, right? No, she's is she?
Maybe, I don't know.
No, I thought she was.
I think she's a freelancer.
I said I don't think she was in AEW as well. Who knows?
But I see you.
Yeah, we could see those.
And also because I think
Havoc versus fucking Nia Jax,
Rosemary as well in the mix as well.
Yeah, and Rosemary versus Nikki Cross, like those kind of things going on. That'd be cool. I could see that happening.
They would need to find a location where they would basically sell out the arena.
And they don't need anything big. Hell, do that shit at where the fuck they did the PC not the PC the UFC shit in Vegas.
No, don't do that. Don't do that venue again.
They don't. The only problem they really had was because the ringside was so tight. That's the only real problem they had.
And now they
know. Good health and Godspeed to Kevin Sullivan. He recently had a medical procedure surgery done, and seems as though that he had an ill relapse from it. Tony Khan and other wrestlers have donated. Tony Khan donated $10,000, and other wrestlers have donated to his medical expenses as well. So speedy recovery to the man behind the pencil, and man who I guess brought the first the first faction and transitioning of that mystical sense of wrestling gimmicks, Kevin Sullivan. Mm-hmm. In Florida, he was doing that whole, before it was the Wyatts and shit, he was doing all that fucking
cult
voodoo kind of shit. So speedy recovery for Kevin Sullivan. Next up, we mentioned earlier, Logan Paul will not be going to Japan. Why? Because some years back, he did a dumb video where
he went to the suicide forest, filmed a dead body.
Yeah, that's
laughed, cried. He did everything.
Yeah, not sure if he ever but ever had any apologies from that.
He did an apology video.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's a YouTube thing. You fuck up, you get hate on it, and you could do I'm sorry video.
Yeah, you're right. CJ Perry is no longer with AEW.
What a giant fucking waste of time.
For whom?
Both.
Shit.
Like I said, like CJ Perry, talented woman, like actress, like she's an actress, true and true, but she loves wrestling as well. So kudos to her. But it was like, why bring her in? Like you brought her in, you teased the thing with her husband. Now they're not married anymore. You teased the thing with Andrade. Andrade fucking left, and then we haven't seen them since World's End.
And she made a mention. She says, "I'm done with AEW, but I'm not done with wrestling." And
you know what? Good. She wants to go. TNA is still an option for her if she wants to try that.
She says she wants to be the type that she wants to be the female Paul Heyman, which is, you know, kudos to you.
Women of WoW would definitely, if she wants to try that as well.
Yeah,
fucking go for it.
Yeah, fuck it. Is Miro next?
I mean, where the fuck would he go? I think he's done with wrestling. It has to be.
Is it?
To me, that's what it feels like. I mean, he constant reports of him turning down ideas and all this shit. I mean, I feel like he's done.
I don't think he's done with wrestling. I think he's just done with AEW. I think he's done.
Well, both.
Yeah.
You know.
That's all right. He could go back and play his fucking video games on Twitch.
Yeah.
Next up, Natalya resigns with WWE?
Yeah, that's still the developing story. But apparently, yeah, she resigned. I mean, it would have been, they could still do the Forbidden Door with her. She could, I mean, they're putting the NXT girls to TNA. It's like your Tana Paxley's, your Izzy Dames, but it's like send Natalya down there. Like, there's really nothing else for her to do, honestly. But you know what? If WWE is going to hire her full time and give her a job for life. She's gonna run the women's division, which you know what, fine.
Yeah, she's gonna be an agent. She'll probably be with her husband,
still being on screen talent.
Yeah, she's still she's still
it's her home.
I wish that she would have maybe ventured out, or maybe they would do it as per the TNA NXT WWE crossover, that she actually goes over to TNA and have a couple of matches over there. I wouldn't be mad at that,
because it would be weird if she didn't resign and then just showed up in TNA. It's like, wait a minute, like they're already working with. Like, it would
she should have
weird.
just popped up there. Period. Like she just went over there and just been like,
right,
I'm here.
There's still time.
Yeah. Next up, I saw this on one of the group pages, and I just was like a question that was in the air, and I said, let me ask you about it. Why do fans go crazy about free agent possibilities when you're hearing people's contracts is up, and
because everybody starts fantasy booking after that?
Is that what it really is?
Right, because like with Dijak and Ricochet, once their contracts were up, immediately people went to Ricochet for Ricochet to be like, oh, future X Division champion, future TNA World Champion.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna kill it in AEW type of thing. Same with Dijak as well. It's all about the fantasy booking.
Yeah, I also look to see like what it immediately becomes their I guess sense of what company will fit best for them or where people go. I think that's where a lot of people think about it as well. I don't have that same kind of mentality as like where I go crazy, be like, oh my God, I can't wait till he comes to WWE. And like, I don't think like that. I like to discuss the possibilities where people will fit. Like we mentioned with Ricochet, I think with Ricochet, his best fit will be in TNA. I think he will do a great job there.
Yeah. But when it comes to sports too, because it's wrestling wants to be in the same category of sports.
Right.
When it comes to the off season, like
right,
say people are the same way, like, oh, where is this player going to land? Where is he going to sign? Who's going to be traded? That type of thing. It's like the same effect.
What is it? What's more? What sports do you follow?
Basketball mainly, but I also keep up with football on the side as well.
So for basketball, for basketball and football, which is like you think is the most heavy when it comes to free agency signings?
Definitely like in the off season.
Yeah, but like which sport is more heavily focused on
when it comes to free? It's weird because football is very popular, but I follow basketball more. But I do think like when it comes to football, it's more like crazy.
I think
especially when it comes to free agents.
I think basketball it's more because there's the market ends up being big,
right?
But also remember there's not a lot of slots for teams. They only have 13 on a 15. Roster, so 15 sometimes. 15 on a roster. So like, it's not a lot of spots for people to land at. So,
but in the last couple of years with basketball, it's more of just like during the season when people demand trades and then they get traded in the middle of the season. When it comes to off season, it's like all the small moves happen. Like, I mean, this off season recently, I know wrestling, but for basketball, for free agency, there were some actually big moves that actually happened this off season.
That, and I'm more into like see where what money they get, because sometimes I'll just
when you see the years,
the max contracts and shit,
and you go, did the person really deserve that?
Right? Yeah, I'm not really and like I said, when it comes to wrestling, and I would like to know wrestling wise what money.
Like we know 5 years for Finn, but like how much?
How much per year? Like what's that about? Like sports always has an open book with that. Why wrestlers don't have like that kind of you have to assume what they're making or what is leaked what they're making. Why is it never like that open exposure for their salaries? That's interesting.
Right.
Next up, we mentioned before. Stephanie Vacour seems as though she's signing up, making her presence going to be felt with WWE and NXT, and some people are not happy with this. Your thoughts?
I mean, it went from WWE and AEW have given her offers for when her deal is up. And then the following day, it's like, oh, she says, I'm fucking done with CMLL and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I am going to the E. And it was like, this came out of nowhere. It's like, this is one of those ones where there's more to it than we're being told.
Right.
Because there was people that tell me, oh, like she had an abusive husband, that's in jail and that he's trying to kill her. So now she wants to try and get away out of Mexico, that type of shit. I don't want to assume that, but it's also, I think, because I do think with CMLL, they do sign people long term, but they do let people out of their deals if WWE or another company give them an offer. So I don't know. This one just came out of nowhere, and it seems like there's definitely more to it that we're not going to know until couple months.
Yeah, it is.
But just the turnaround from the Forbidden Door match to this, it's like holy shit.
Yeah, I had mentioned
it's been a week now, right?
I had mentioned to wrestling fan Frankie, shout out to him, that if you don't honor your dates, that's fucked up. Like that's poor business practices. Like you should at least honor your dates. But at the same time, CMLL and New Japan, CMLL more than anything, have been very lax when it comes to their treatment of female wrestlers. They're very brash. They've always been a history of that, and especially if you're not of Mexican descent. I believe she's Chilean.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very,
So for the people
loose.
that saying that she's gonna be another member of LWO, need to got checked or
she's Chilean. She's Spanish. She's Latin. So,
Joaquin Wilde is in the LWO, and people.
It's Filipino,
right?
They're still technically Spanish in a way, though.
Yeah. WWE doesn't give a shit about fucking how far away you're from the border.
Exactly. But
I was gonna say for Stephanie, it's also the situation is weird because she was a double champion,
right,
for CMLL, and she did have a date scheduled for them this week for I think it was like the New Japan show.
Right,
she was supposed to work, and she pretty much just said in the middle of the week, "Fuck this, I'm done. I'm going straight to the WWE." And WWE were quick to say, "Welcome to the family." Sean saying, "I can't wait to have you at the PC." It's like I kept looking at this like, what is going on? Like something bigger is happening.
And if it
not
is
being told,
if it is the circumstance that about her husband or ex-boyfriend that he's basically on some stalker mode type of shit, and this is her way to get out.
He has people out on the outside that kill her.
Yeah, so that's if that's what it is, then hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do, and you got to run the fuck out and get that bag. Fuck it. Hey, it is what it is. But
as talent wise, I mean, a female luchadora that WWE has never really seen.
That and the fact that she fucking was the one that stole the show against Monet. She carried Monet during that match. I don't care what anybody tells me. So
Monet, they had an excellent match at the pay-per-view, and that was pretty much her tryout match for the American public.
Congratulations to her, man. Fuck it, get that back.
But this is definitely one of those stories where we're definitely going to circle back to where it's like there's going to be more info on what exactly happened here.
Yeah, definitely. And finally, the main event. And why not be the main event of our fucking most of our lives, and which is John Cena, who we spoke before about.
I was wondering what the main event was.
Announcing his retirement. And I mean, it was in the cards. We already knew that it was coming. Hollywood has basically,
was it though?
I believe so.
I mean, I felt like it was already done. He was just gonna continue making one-off appearances, but now it was just for 2025. It's gonna be the end.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Like we've watched a man through his career all the way through. It's not many, you say, I could say like, yeah, I've seen Michael Jordan through his whole career, but when he first started, I was like 8 years old. I've seen LeBron through his whole career. Like we're going to see that tour. Especially when you have all those years under that belt to play. And guys who've wrestled. It's when you see someone of John Cena's, mega power, mega star fucking personality and his impact in professional wrestling, it's well overdue for him to have this moment to retire. And it's I'm glad that they're doing it this way, that it's the Cena 2025 tour.
Yeah, also too, like with the idea of announcing, hey, Cena's gonna be here and there and that, it's also for money as well.
Yeah, of course.
What ticket sales?
Of course.
And and let's be real here too. WWE obviously looked at how AEW handled Sting's retirement. They said, we can do better.
Of course. Please.
And who's the biggest star that's who's winding down that they could say, you're going to make us a lot of money? It's John Cena, the Golden Goose.
Right. In my opinion, it's probably the last megastar in WWE's history. I'm sorry, but I know everybody loves Roman, but Cena
it's not close. Honestly.
He's a mega star. I mean,
Cena was on top for so many years where it's like Roman, it feels like a few.
And
Roman's already done.
Him transitioning to Hollywood was the easiest thing for him to do. And like I mentioned before, he's on everything. He's everywhere. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how they're going to roll this out. What's going to happen. Like we mentioned, his retirement won't be at WrestleMania. That's not where it's going to happen. It's going to be a full year. And, it's going to be some interesting fantasy booking from here on out on who would be his last match.
CM Punk has already thrown his name in the hat for one last time. I mean, if I could do it, not for nothing. The first Raw on Netflix, you do John Cena and CM Punk. That'd be way to people to get their Netflix subscriptions.
Yeah, definitely. And you can't share Netflix like you used to. They changed that up. So yeah, you're gonna have to get your own shit this time around. But yeah. Congratulations to the man in his career, man. I mean, we'll talk about it more down the line. We'll probably do a promo about it more down the line because to see a man who started off with the ruthless aggression era, his first face-to-face with Kurt Angle to many matches
fired.
To almost getting fired to
first world title win,
the hip hop spinner belt fucking guy. Until finally becoming like the face of everything WWE.
The kid-friendly man that all the adults fucking hated.
But no, the greatest thing is seeing adults who loved him. That was actually even weirder. I'm talking to you, Louis. I'm talking to you.
It was a weird love.
So, talking to you, Louis.
But he was...
But yeah, so we'll be talking more about that. But other than that, guys, gonna wrap it up here for Wrestling Rundown and much more down the line. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. We got much to talk about. See you guys in a sec.
Turnbuckle
Tabloid.
Yo, what's going on? This is Leo Rush, and you are now listening to Turnbuckle Tabloid.
One more time.
Yo, what's going on? This is Leo Rush, and you are now listening to Turnbuckle Tabloid.
So how was it getting here today?
Oh my God, this heat is unbearable.
And by the way,
that and now that I have a fucking tooth that is hurting me right now. So,
oof, yeah, not a good tandem.
Not a good tandem at all, people.
Did it just start hurting? Like,
it's been hurting, but it started hurting this morning. It's been like random this week. But I need to get it. I'm getting it out next week.
Yeah, you got coverage, right?
Yeah,
of course.
You know where I work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got coverage. You're all right.
Yeah. And the best thing is about my dentist is that my mom knows him.
Oh,
old family dentist.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Tooth. Whatever it is.
My tooth hurty.
The worst pain I believe to deal with. I know women say childbirth is probably the worst pain to deal with, but
we can't argue that.
Yeah, I can't argue that. But although getting kicked in the dick has been proven to say that on a pain in the balls, not in the dick, just the balls area. The science has said that pain registry, it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah.
But tooth pain, oh jeez, man.
Especially random ones where it just like a little pain and then it's like big pain.
I had some time back I had a filling, and the filling finally came out. And they went to put it back in, and they were like, you know what? There's no point. You might as well just...
It's just going to come back out?
Yeah, so I was like, hey, you know what? Just rip it out. Just rip the tooth out. It was like the most weirdest and uncomfortable pain that I've ever got, because although you're supposed to be numb, apparently I have a high tolerance to Novocaine, and I felt that bitch come out. Yeah, what's going on, brother AJ? Yeah, I felt that shit came out. And I go, and the dentist was like, yeah, don't worry about it. You're good. I was like, no, I'm not. The actual
extraction.
the Novocaine hit when I got home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it did nothing for me.
The last time I got a tooth out was like, I think like during the pandemic, and they hit me shit. They hit me with that shit so many times that when they got it out, they're like, "Oh, it's out." I'm like, seriously, I didn't feel it.
Yeah, nah, me, because usually I'll tell them, I say, you're gonna have to probably hit me like more than twice because it takes some time. Oh, don't worry about it, you'll be all right. And let me walk out and take.
Used to be funny with like, I'm gonna be very loose with this. Every time he would go, be like, knock me out. And then my mom would look at the bill like, if you knock him out, I'm gonna knock you out because I can't fucking afford that.
Yeah. So no, the dentist afterward, he says, you want to set up an appointment so we could put a replacement? I said, no, I'm fine.
No, just leave a hole in my fucking mouth.
Yeah, no, actually I did because it's in a place where you don't really pay attention. Like if it was in the front, like you could see it. Oh yeah, that's different, but. It's in a spot where it's not even noticeable. So I'm like, leave it open. It's fine. Mm-hmm. I actually play with the hole with my tongue. Enough about dentistry, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for wrestling. And then around the square circle, we are in the building. Whole Milk Mike is in the building.
Mm-hmm.
And
to kind of go back into wrestling, there was a wrestling dentist.
Oh, Dr. Isaac Yankum.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he didn't take his own advice because his teeth were jacked. But yeah,
whose teeth do you remember being worse, his or Snitsky's? Remember when they had like Snitsky make like his teeth were yellow?
Yeah,
I think he actually had like to go somewhere and like, I don't know how or what
to color them.
Yeah, and then they fired him.
Right. Yeah, but yeah. So wrestling this week around the square circle. We haven't really touched up on this on this segment for a while because we've been talking about it during wrestling rundowns and stuff anyway. But around the square circle, we want to touch up because this week was a kind of a big week for wrestling. We had the aftermath of Money in the Bank. We also have looks like the ratings are coming back to Dynamite somewhat.
Dynamite had a really big angle there. I can't wait to talk about.
Yeah, 700,000 has now become their million these days. So, hey, listen, you gotta get what you get, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we also have with SmackDown. I have to say, what an impressive fucking match. You know what? We'll get to it. So let's start it off. What we got first off?
Before we get into the main shows, we're gonna do Raw, SmackDown, and Dynamite.
Yes.
We're gonna leave Dynamite last because that's always the best thing to talk about at the
right.
end with us. But quick NXT thoughts about the Rascals and Joe Hendry showing up. Overall,
did they put him on the roster?
Who?
Joe Hendry. Is he on the WWE roster page?
No. Last time I checked, no.
Because I saw some.
That was probably an edit or some
maybe
thing.
Let me see. Yeah. So in any case,
because we first had the Rascals appear and talk Wesley out of retiring again or whatever he was gonna say, but
some are saying that there's two sides of this. Number one, I think it's great. It's finally they're doing this. We've been wanting this to happen for a long time, and I'm glad that they're doing it. It doesn't hurt either brand for this to happen,
Mm-hmm.
And say what you want. I know everybody's gonna say, well, they only took the idea from AEW. Okay, whatever, fine. Kudos.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, this is what the fans have wanted to see around for a long time. This cross-brand promotional kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other side is, why are you doing it with NXT? Why we're not doing it on the main roster? Well, baby steps, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take our baby steps here.
That, and think of the current storylines on the main roster, they would not be existing right now if TNA was evading every week.
Right. Let's not let's not take away the fact that it could still possibly happen. We could still probably see the war games of it. You had mentioned that Worlds Collide. We might be able to see that.
Yep.
So,
I mean, shit, it would be a dream scenario if we could get NXT versus TNA in the Hammerstein.
Right. So that baby steps, people. Let's slow our roll and let's see how it blows up. As for what we saw with the Rascals coming back, I was happy that
some people refer to them as the Little Rascals.
Right. I was happy to see that Zachary Wentz was there, and they called him by Zachary Wentz
and not Nash Carter.
Yeah, they called him Zachary Wentz.
Yeah.
It was a.
It was fun. They came out to the MSK Titantron. Like,
mm-hmm.
They came out to all that, but they presented them as the Rascals.
Right. Like you mentioned, the Joe Hendry stuff. The guy is over as fuck, man. And the good thing about that is that not only is he entertaining, the guy can work as well. He's a solid wrestler as well. So I know a lot of people whose eyes are even more focused on it now because of him alone. So that's the kind of thing that. Which, by the way, guys, you do understand that TKO Endeavor, they do have some kind of partnership with TNA. Because they're supposed to be going under some kind of streaming service with them as well.
Yeah.
So this is all tying together one way or another.
And it seems to WWE is more open with Noah now. So
right,
like AJ Styles and Io Sky did the Noah show this morning or last night for them. Whatever, like the time zone difference, but they did their show, and they announced that Josh Briggs will be taking part of their tournament. So I mean. It's so weird to see WWE so open, but it's also because the old man's gone and he's not fucking against everybody at this point. Where Triple H is more open to working with anybody.
Listen, at this point in time, this is what we need. We need more of a umbrella to broaden out, to widen out for wrestlers and rosters and fans and such. So, unity and all, it's not, as much as people want to say that there's this competition amongst companies. Yeah, of course, everybody, but let's be honest, WWE, it's above all the rest. You can say what you want. And for them to kick down and help out, the TNA roster is beneficial for everybody. I mean, it's cool. It's whatever. Would we ever see a WWE AEW crossover?
I'm going to say no, but maybe in a couple of years that'll change. Depends on AEW, though. It depends on their progression.
Right.
Honest to God. There's certain people that still think Triple H is out to kill AEW, so, I mean, let people believe that.
That's a weird look at how the landscape is with the fandom, because, honestly, let's be for real, like, it doesn't.
The tribalism is so.
It's ridiculous. And like Rich always said, the boss, shout out to the boss, Rich at Rageworks. He says, iron sharpens iron, and that's what makes for great competition. That's what makes for great shows. Hey, look, the past couple of weeks we've been seeing Dynamite has been actually tying up some loose ends and making some kind of booking going on somewhat. So, Maybe they're taking cues from what WWE is doing. Maybe. WWE took cues from them, so why not?
Yeah. One final thing to say about NXT is that for their women's division, they're definitely getting 2 new additions now. We thought it was just going to be 1, but after this week, some very controversial thing, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but we expected Julia's going to be coming in soon, and now fresh off AEW New Japan Forbidden Door, WWE and NXT are getting Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, I'm gonna
that's a separate thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that on Wrestling Rundown. That's a very interesting conversation to have there. It's I know a lot of people are bitter about that. You know who you are, you people, and it's.
He said it. I didn't.
It's fine.
Don't
Listen,
get mad at the white guy for that statement.
We'll get it. It's
a whole big thing to cover.
But kicking it off, what we got?
Monday Night Raw.
This was the Raw after Money in the Bank.
Yep, we had.
Shout out to our people at the Seneca. I had a really good time with them there, man. It was.
Oh my God! It was...
And big announcement, guys. If you're in the New York City area, they're running it back. We'll be doing SummerSlam there August 3rd as well. Information will be going up. Flyers will be going up as well. Got clarification. Got certification from the managers themselves. So we are running it back for SummerSlam at the Seneca. So keep your eyes out for that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We had recaps of the main angle from Money in the Bank regarding this show, where CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre the World Heavyweight title for the third time alone this year. So we had your boy CM Punk open the show, cutting a promo, talking about the Drew McIntyre thing. So over the weekend, they did announce that both men were fined for undisclosed amount for their actions at Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew then got suspended for calling, in layman terms, he said, if you would have known how to do your job and this wouldn't have happened, you dumb bald bitch. So
I thought it was more about the the elbow. I thought that's what he got. I thought that's what he got suspended.
That too,
for.
but it was a combination of both. Like Adam knew, like, I don't know, but that was a whole thing. But we'll talk about it. But so CM Punk came out, kind of promo talking about this is beyond personal now. And then we had Seth Rollins interrupt. It's always funny when Seth interrupts Punk because Punk's reactions are always the best. He either throws the mic up in the air like, "Oh God, here we go."
Mm-hmm.
He went up to the Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, grabbed in thing. He goes, "Does this guy ever leave me alone?" And then Michael Cole goes, "Not for nothing, you did screw him." And then Punk's like, "I did." Like,
what's your thoughts about the whole now the back and forth banter? Now that the announcers are a little bit more involved, kind of reminds me of
wrestlers.
With the wrestlers. Kind of reminds me of when years ago. I'm talking about this. Is what I said. This is aging me. When Bobby and Gorilla were doing commentary, and you would hear Gorilla yelling at fucking wrestlers, and they would yell back at him. I kind of
makes it seem real.
Yeah, I enjoy the banter.
I mean, I love the what was it like? It was at King of the Ring when Logan promised he wasn't going to use the Nux, and then he used the Nux, and then Cole's like, "You're such a loser," and Logan's like, "Who you calling a loser?" Like, I love that type of shit.
Yeah, they're also comparing the chemistry of Cole and McAfee to like the old school Heenan and Gorilla as well. Especially when he called Braun Breaker a brick shit house or a shit brick house, whatever the fuck it was. And they were both laughing hysterically. I thought it was, it's genuine. It's true. And I love to see that banter.
So they basically went back and forth, taking digs at each other. And Punk gave begrudgingly, like, "I'm sorry, like, for costing you the title." And then basically Rollins just said, like, from that, I told you once, but keep going forward. Never get involved in my business. Like Punk mentioned the fact, like, not for nothing, you're doing this for your daughter and your wife. Meanwhile, there's a man walking around with a bracelet that has my wife's name and my dog's name on the bracelet. So, this was just very heated. This basically just build to a match that we're definitely getting at WrestleMania, but we're not getting it at SummerSlam.
He's very John Wick right now. CM Punk, he's very John Wick with his whole dog thing.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, even for you, like, dogs are babies.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely, hell yeah.
But yeah. So that was the opening segment. Really, just I know that there was a rumor that Rollins was penciled in to be the referee for this match, but I don't want that at all. Keep Rollins out of the mix until the Rumble for CM Punk builds. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's another match I would want a referee to be in, and we'll talk about that later. We had Jey Uso defeating Chad Gable. Towards the end of the match, we had the lights going out as to signify the Wyatt Six.
Fucking Jay said, "Fuck this, I'm out." He was gone.
Twitter basically reacted with the whole Jey Uso would be perfect for horror movies because he knows to get the fuck out of there.
Exactly. He will live at the end of these movies.
It was so funny because the timing of like the lights going out, Jay was able to still hit a spear and get the 1, 2, 3, and then it was funny to me because he ran in the darkness. Like, you wouldn't, like, I would run to the crowd, like where the most light you could see where you're going. He ran to the back where you could see fucking nothing.
He said, "Fuck that! I'll feel my way out of Gorilla. I'll just
run. I don't care. I don't care who's in the way."
Exactly.
So we had Chad in the ring again. Nikki Cross came from underneath the ring. Chad ran for his life, and then for like the third straight week, Nikki Cross presented her box to Michael Cole.
Oh man!
Oh, but this week also Pat McAfee.
It was a dusty box too. She's got to do something about her box. Her box is just too dusty.
You know what? If her part-time job is at Amazon, I wouldn't be surprised.
Listen, at least it wasn't dirty. It was just a dusty box she had. It was just not dirty.
And it's also interesting too because they always for now it's been 4 weeks now of this. They haven't referred to her as Nikki Cross, even though we know who it is.
Right.
But it's not like, what are you doing, Nikki? Like, what's going on with you? That type of thing. But so Pat McAfee was back, and remember, all these videos are supposed to be directed towards him,
right?
Because they kept interrupting his show, saying you lied about whatever.
Are they still doing that?
No, not on his show, but no. That pretty much stopped after I think his father-in-law died.
Right.
So they're like, yeah, we're not going to bother him anymore. So let's keep it away from his show and keep it on ours. But, more to come on the video. Cause again, they opened the box and there was a VHS tape saying play me. So
seems as though Nikki always got something in her box.
Yeah. I bet you love this. Your boo, Pete Dunne, made pretty much his Raw debut on Monday Night Raw against Big Bronson Reed, which again, you don't need to emphasize he's big. We already know that.
We get it.
Yeah, but before that, they had a promo with Bronson and Sheamus, teasing a match with them two. Bronson killed Pete. Then Sheamus came out for the save, and then, and a surprise, Pete wasn't receptive of this. He goes, "You've abandoned us. Don't help me ever again," type of thing. Because now Pete's on his own because Tyler Bates out with an injury.
Yeah, he's not going to be out. He's going to be out for the whole year. So
I think the last time we saw Pete Dunne, I think this is the first time since the draft he's been on Raw because he's been on NXT a lot.
Right.
And the last time Pete was on Raw for a match was against fucking Enzo Amore.
Wow.
In 2017.
Shit. That's wow. He's old. Yeah. Damn. That's a long time. Good to see that he's actually have that much tenure in the company. He's around. He's been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But yeah, they're teasing something with him and Sheamus. Maybe I don't know.
No, go ahead.
I mean, yeah.
The only thing, like I said, is that he has ill will because
again, like
Sheamus left, broke them up.
He was hurt.
And the Brawling Brutes, they went their separate ways. So,
Sami Zayn came out, cut a promo, talked about his title defense against Braun Breaker. It's funny because he says, "I'm always the underdog." Bitch, for the last 2 years, you've been winning everything you've been doing. How are you still the underdog? You haven't been the underdog since the NXT days.
Well, I think they're trying to make a tag name for him to be the underdog. Seeing as though like
remember, I think it was around the time when they did the draft the first time when they called him the underdog from the underground.
Right. Remember, because his dad is the dog face gremlin.
No, Sammy.
I mean, I'm Sammy. Sorry, I'm talking about on Braun. I thought they was going to tag that on Braun, but for Sammy, he's been
won
winning.
The main event of Mania.
He's been winning. Yeah, he's been winning. Like
you're not the underdog anymore. You're established.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's winning. So unless I'm missing something with him, we can remove that tag.
Braun came out, confronted him, basically didn't say anything, just was steaming mad about the events of Money in the Bank. And then Braun Breaker just speared the shit out of him. Now, if they were in Canada, if Sammy was a true Canadian, he would have wore a metal plate under his shirt. On Bret Hart.
He did the Bret Hart move.
Now, this was the fucking best. So all the producers come out. Jason Jordan was spotted. I noticed him. So Pierce is like, "Let's go in the back, Braun. Enough is enough." And then Braun goes, "Oh, shit. What's that?" Pierce looks off into the crowd, and then Braun breaks it back to the ring, runs as fast as he can, and spears the shit out of Sami Zayn again. Oh my God.
You're gonna need like a shotgun to stop this guy because he's just like it's getting bad. It's getting real bad. With
I just
Braun.
love that he did the whole look at that and then ran back to.
It was very Looney Tunes moment.
Dragunov came out, was very pissed off about Braun and his actions, demanded a match for later in the show, which we would get. So we had a lot of segments. So I didn't really talk about these segments. So Dom's in the back trying to appeal to Adam Pearce to take the match out of to basically cancel the main event for the mixed tag. It's him and Liv against Ray and Zelina. So Dom goes, "I don't want to do this bullshit." And then Pearce is like, "I don't care. The match is on." So then Liv approaches him, says like, you need to relax. Like let me stretch. Let's come up with a strategy. And a lot on the show, there's a lot of one-liners that really stuck out. So when they were walking away, Dom goes, "There better be some nuggies or tendies." So then later on, so the Judgment Day had a 6-man tag against Braun, again, Awesome Truth, blah blah blah. Judgment Day win. So then we had Damian Priest in the back with Seth Rollins, and they completely negated the whole stip from Money in the Bank. Basically, Damian says, "Listen, once I'm done with Gunther, you name the time and the place, I'll give you your rematch."
Okay, that's fair.
Then he got and they received a phone call and said, "Where are you?" And let me know when you're here, with a big smile on his face.
Did you know who was coming?
I think by the second time, when we get to the other segment later on, where he said, "I'll tell you guys later,"
right?
I figured I know who it is, because they go in the back. Liv is so the old segment back in the day where Triple H got caught with Trish bending over in front of him. They basically did the exact same thing here, but they had Liv stretching Dom out with his leg, like his leg was over her head. Then you had Damian Priest walk in, and then you had like Little Rascals or like
the pile out on the
like Finn, JD, and Carlito sticking their heads in, like, oh shit, what the hell's going on there? So this is another one-liner that killed me. So then Liv runs out, nothing happened, blah blah blah. Damian goes, dude, this is not that hard. Carlito goes, I don't know, you look hard to me. and then I love that Damian goes, wait, like, really? Like, all the reactions was best. And then Finn goes, like, Damian, we're supposed to tell us something. Damian goes, I'll save it for later. Because once he saw Dom in that position, he goes, oh, it's going to get worse later for you. We had Dragunov and Breaker. Breaker pretty much just threw a chair at this fucker's head and just said, fuck this match. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that was just a throwaway moment, but I still like it because it's still a build up for what could happen down the line. That mid card fucking area, that roster is stacked. There's gonna be a lot going on there in the next few months with all that talent that's there.
It's insane.
Yeah,
to think about, because it's like a name. It's like a new, who's who.
Yeah, I mean from Braun to Dragunov to with Sam and Chad, Bronson. There's a lot to play around with all those guys there in that mid card, man. There's so much intangibles there. It could be the who's who of who's next in line for the IC title.
Mm-hmm. We had Damage Control versus Chance Carter and Valkyria. This is where pretty much we had a new faction interrupt the whole proceedings. We had Sonya Deville, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler attack Damage Control. I don't know if they're baby faces or Damage Control turned face and they're the heels, but we've been seeing teases of this all night or the last couple of weeks actually with this. So
funny because on my 2K universe coming soon on
Sonya Deville
on the
Shayna
update,
Baszler,
and they were already there. I already made them.
And people already call them the lesbians.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, people.
Oh, please.
What was the one name that got WWE in a lot? Submission Sorority with Charlotte, Becky, and Paige.
Yeah, it was something like that.
And their brass was like, hello.
Yeah, they owned it.
Yeah. Then we had the Uncle Howdy video. This was, I think, week 3 of the video.
Yes. Well.
Yeah,
I think it's
3.
4. It was 4.
No, this is the third week.
Third week.
So, if you haven't watched these, pretty much Howdy is interviewing Bo, and the whole thing is he says, "What's with tell me about your family," and then they show Gacy with the mask and without the mask. They show Dexter Lumis with his mask. I think I flashed Nikki Cross, but it didn't show her face. If I don't remember, I think she did or didn't. But then they showed Eric Rowan's face, and then basically Bo just saying we're all sick, and this company is gonna see like how sick we can be. Then we cut to backstage pieces. Adam Pearce is about to go back to his office, and then Chad Gable interrupts and goes, "They're clearly talking about me. Are you going to do anything about this?" And Pearce goes, "Listen, if they're talking about you, you deal with it." So then Chad goes away, and Pierce opens the door, and we see someone sitting there, and it's Bo Dallas with a big smile on his face. Pierce walks in and closes the door.
Interesting. I wonder what's the I like the mystery about it, because I'm wondering like what's this all about,
right?
Like what's the why are we putting this as a escape from what the Wyatts are, and we're looking at the split personality of Bo,
maybe of all of them,
yeah. So interesting.
I would be surprised if like Pierce comes out next week like, I have signed 5 new people to my roster. Here they are, and
right.
They all come out.
That's the conversation that they're having.
More than likely, that's what it is. It's like, can we have a contract? I want to wrestle. which is also interesting too, because if they're doing like the whole Mick Foley like three faces thing with all of them, I had to look at the Dexter Loomis one. I think he grew his hair out longer.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
Because I thought initially it was like, because I knew like with the Mercy mask he had on, it was like long dreads. That dude grew his fucking hair out.
No, he grew it out. The photo with the fan that took at, I guess, at a Wawa, or the fucking Whataburger or whatever it was.
Whataburger,
whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, they had him there. But I also saw when he went back to the PC, his hair was out longer.
Yeah. I think we have everything until we get to the main event.
Yep.
So this is the main event, your mixed tag match. I think like not even 5 minutes in, Liv is in the corner, and Zelina's about to attack her for like a corner strike. Dom interrupts, Ray trips him, and he goes face first into her crotch.
Lucky man.
Everybody, the internet exploded with, "It should have been me."
Yeah, exactly. It reminded me of when Devon did it to Tori. When
I think he did
the
tongue thing,
and he kept his face there for a whole while. It was like a minute. He was in that. Lucky you,
lucky bastards. So in this match, we had Dom actually pinning his father. This is Dom pinning his dad for the first time.
Right.
I think Ray's beaten him twice already in the Mania and then the tag of Mania as well. And then we had the moment where Liv jumps into Dom's arms. They fall to the ground, and it looks like they're about to kiss. And then Rhea Ripley's music hits. Mommy's home. She stormed the ring. Liv had the best face. Dom had the best facial expression too. And Liv ran through the crowd, got the fuck out of there. And then USA Network, if you're watching USA Network, as soon as Rhea got into the ring and had the stare down, they went off the air.
Oh, bastards. But there was video footage of what happened afterwards, and
which was pretty much nothing.
But she was just
probably like it was funny too, because like Dom was like kind of staring at her chest, and she kind of lifted his head up, like, "Look at me." So,
thanks, brother AJ. He mentions it. Just confirmed that NCAA's road to glory carries over to Madden. Thank you. I was asking him about that question. Now I might be interested in buying it. Maybe.
Good to know.
Yeah. Michigan is. I know. I might get it. Just give me a sec, bro.
So that's pretty much Monday Night Raw. And then they announced a couple of things. Damian Priest and Gunther face to face before their SummerSlam matchup. And as the day we're doing this, Adam Pearce announces Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov for the Intercontinental title on Raw Monday.
Nice, good match.
And Rhea Ripley will open the show. God only knows what she's gonna say. And also, Drew McIntyre comes back from his 1 week suspension and has a meeting. Because also on the show, Punk did say, I don't care, lift the suspension, we need to have this match.
Yeah.
And Pierce goes, okay, but you can't come next week. If you show up, forget about any future title opportunities and forget the match with Drew at all.
Okay. He's still, like I said, we're still unsure what his medical condition is. So
I think I did say, like, you're still not clear.
Yeah.
So overall, Raw was a good show.
Very good show. They've been running on all cylinders, man. People are saying, I've heard that who was it? Oh, Bret Hart, Mr. Miserable, had mentioned that he says that Triple H never had a creative bone in his body. He never heard anything creative come out of him.
Goldberg ended my career,
and it's like, okay, but he was talent. I mean, that's one thing. And I know that sometimes they'll pitch ideas, whatever the case may be. I get it. But now it's not even saying that Triple H is the one who's creating it. He's the siphon. He's the one that is the filter of people's ideas. And if something sounds stupid, he'll be like, we're not doing that. That's the old regime. I like the storyline. I've been telling for the longest, and I remember that Punk Isaac agreeing with me that they really needed to hire writers that were into comic books. That's the battle of good and evil. That's exactly what you want in wrestling. Mm-hmm. So I believe that they're kind of getting that tangible going in right now.
Interesting. I mean, if you're doing good people versus good versus evil, I mean, those are the people you would want to hire, and then just give them insert wrestler into superhero storyline and go from there.
Exactly.
But make it wrestling based. But now we're on to SmackDown. We open with Miss Money in the Bank herself, Tiffany Stratton, confronted by Bayley. And the whole thing with Bayley, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and you had Nia Jax referred to Bayley as BBL. I had to do
now everybody's. Oh, you didn't know what BBL is?
Do a quick look up.
BBL Bayley.
Because she said this ain't the Bayley I injured in 2017, and said this is the BBL Bayley. And I mean,
I said, show me the shots. Show me where it at. Show me where it at. And you know what? Even if it is, who cares? Who gives a shit? Like, whatever. But I love when Nia goes off the rails a little bit.
This is probably her best run so far.
Yeah, I like what she does.
Best run of her career.
Yeah.
Because also at some point we're getting Bayley and Nia Jax as a result of Nia winning Queen of the Ring. But we also have Tiffany Stratton in this mix where she does have the briefcase, and we will talk about. So Nia Jax basically killed Meechin. Was a waste, honestly, Meechin this one. But as they're walking away, they attack Bayley. Bayley's unconscious in the ring, and Nia's on the outside. And Tiffany's like, "You go, girl. Like, go, my best friend." And then she kind of looks at Bayley, and she looks at the briefcase. This was probably the slowest cash-in tease I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
With the history of this briefcase, where she was like, "Hey, ref," and the ref gets on the apron, and the ref's like, "You want to cash in?" And then Nia Jax just quickly books it back in the ring, and she says, "What are you doing?" And Tiffany's like, No, it's fine, that type of thing. So we're definitely going to be teasing this for all the rest of the year, and going into the beginning of 2025. So
definitely, and it needs to be that way, and hopefully, new bag coming soon.
Yeah, we had the weirdest team ever on SmackDown. Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews against Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, I was like, I saw that and I was like, who magically put this together? And now with Corbin face? Okay.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
Legado won. Nobody cares. Poor Apollo. We had LA Knight challenging Logan Paul for SummerSlam. He had a contract for a match. He signed it and said, "Now it's on to you, buddy." So that's coming next.
Congratulations for 250 days, Logan Paul being the United States champion.
2 defenses. I think it was 2. Kevin Owens in the Mania match.
Right.
Holy shit. I mean, we all thought the Roman thing was bad when he was taking months off, but this is worse.
Well, to be fair, he was in the Money in the Bank as well. So
Logan wasn't.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't in the Logan. The Money in the Bank.
LA Knight was.
LA Knight was, right. You're right. Yeah, what the hell was Logan?
Home. Also, too, they're going to Japan, and there's a reason why Logan's not going. So,
so don't expect him over there, Japan. You guys don't want him. So,
they clearly don't want him.
Rightfully so.
We had Naomi beat Blair Davenport. This is where both women are in a weird spot on this show, where like the rumors of the mid-card title is coming soon, where I think both these women would benefit from that, because either of them are not in position. More Naomi is higher up on the rankings, but yeah, Blair. This was like one of those weird things where Blair had to take a loss. We had a return match for the WWE Tag Team titles where DIY defeated A-Town Down Under, where we had a miscue from Theory and Waller. And it was funny too because DIY won with the Shatter Machine.
Oh, I love that callback. I love that reference.
Yeah. And then, and so we had Theory and Waller arguing about because Theory, Waller hit Theory with a knee, but he saw somebody coming down the ramp, and that man was Jacob Fatu. He just obliterated Austin Theory. He caught Johnny Gargano in a Samoan drop, threw Tommaso Ciampa around. Ciampa hit a DDT, and then Jacob just got up like, fuck you.
The bounce back.
Jacob Fatu is officially Umaga.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He has the no-selling gimmick. I mean, with Samoans and the hard head gimmick, I mean, it's obvious, but this was just straight Umaga shit he was doing. It was insane. we had a backstage promo with Solo and Scott, just basically saying like there was a point where he did say in the show where Roman's never coming back until he acknowledges me.
Right.
So I wonder what's going to happen at SummerSlam. I wonder who's coming back.
Mm.
Then we had a backstage thing with Randy and Cody, watch each other's backs type of thing. And Randy just continues to eye the WWE title. So we know what he really wants out of all this.
Oh, definitely. Listen, it's inevitable. It's going to be a mixture of what's going on with the bloodline stuff. But yeah, that match is inevitable. It's down the line, and as well as it should happen.
We had the Bloodline confronting Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. The match is official for SummerSlam, and Cody got trapped in the ropes while Jacob Fatu and the Guerrillas of Destiny, I'm still going to call them that regardless if WWE don't, but they triple powerbomb Randy Orton to the announce table, and more than likely Randy's going to be out for a couple weeks in storyline. I don't know.
Yeah, that was I'm telling you, they're, as much as they're doing with the Bloodline 2.0 and the Solo hate is there.
Yeah.
The fucking Jacob Fatu love is growing week by week, bro. It's crazy.
This is only week 2.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or week 3.
Week 3. And please, it's just it's going to be something where I don't know how this is going to play out when finally
when Roman comes back.
When Roman comes back and when Hikuleo finally debuts. Hikuleo finally debuts.
And a better scenario would be Solo just joins up with the Usos and Roman again for the OG bloodline, and you have Jacob be the new like leader of like him, the Tongans, let those 4 run roughshod.
And shout out to for Jimmy. He just got cleared. He's cleared to return as well.
Yeah, so. He's coming back eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know when. Because Jey Uso's on Raw, and
hell, maybe he joins Cody's team since Randy might be out.
More than likely,
yeah, maybe.
Because more likely it's probably gonna be Cody, Randy, Kevin, and now Jimmy.
Right. So
because also you have Jay also on Raw. Seth Rollins is also too. He's still not done with the Bloodline type thing, I think.
Right.
But more than likely he's gonna be the one staying on Raw because again he's probably gonna feud with Punk at WrestleMania. So.
And this is the reason why I say that I'm very much invested with WWE now, because there's such interweaving storylines with each other that even, there's still callbacks to old stories in which guys are like, I didn't forget what you did to me, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a conscious way of storytelling that's been happening the past few months. So it's good that they're staying the course.
So that was SmackDown. And pretty much SummerSlam is shaping up to be with the 2 WWE title matches, women's. With Rhea Ripley, do you do the match straight away for SummerSlam?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you have to.
And I got pitched on the review, Dominic as the referee.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it has to be done. Yeah.
Then we have Logan Paul and LA Knight, and then maybe Braun and Sammy. So pretty much solid SummerSlam card looking. Thinking about the predictions.
Yeah, I
maybe Uncle Howdy or Bo against Chad.
Yeah, we're only 2 weeks away, possibly. Yeah,
3. 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks away. Yeah.
From the top, 1, 2. Yeah, 3 weeks away.
Yeah, look at
August 3rd.
That fast. It is approaching us quickly, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Jay, time for Dynamite.
Oh. I was probably the first time in a long time that I've actually been excited to talk about Dynamite,
because a lot of things happened on this show.
A lot of interesting twists and turns happened.
Mm-hmm. For example, we started off with Will Ospreay coming out very angry about MJF's actions of the last couple weeks. Last week's attack on Daniel Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
Says Daniel Garcia is in a hospital. He can't move his arms. Because MJF gave him the tombstone from the second rope, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So told MJF, get your fucking ass out here. It says I have more talent in my right nut than you. Like this whole thing. He goes, you've been open to us about everything. You have ADD, motherfucker. I have ADHD, but that doesn't make me go around and act like a prick. Like. Will Ospreay was just firing on all cylinders here.
He was in rare form, as I like to say.
Yep. And then they did a thing from a collision with it where he called MJF out, or MJF called him out and played the music, and then nobody showed up. So we kind of had a repeat here, but then MJF popped up on the screen and says it's basically just, they set the match that could be happening at All In for next week for episode 250.
Right there, which is a stacked card.
We'll get into so, and they said they're going to start the show with it. So Will Ospreay is going to put up his international title against MJF.
Interesting.
I smell angle. I do think they're going to do the match. It's going to be a full on match. But do you have MJF take the belt from him for like a month and then have Will take it back?
I would also believe that, is he going to pull out the Tiger Driver for this one? You know, the promo that he cut that you sent me while he's on his Stairmasters, MJF, pretty much is calling him out, saying that he's lost his edge, he lost his ability to be a killer, and now, you know, not using the Tiger Driver makes him look soft. So I don't know. Will he pull it out here? Interesting.
That might be what causes them to lose, maybe.
Right.
But, yeah. Our first match was actually the men's finals in the Owen Hart tournament. Bryan Danielson against Hangman Adam Page. I was kind of shocked by the outcome of this one because I thought Hangman would win, and then we get Swerve and Hangman Part 3 and All In. But no, Bryan Danielson actually came out with the win here.
I was surprised as well. I thought that
the obvious direction
Bryan would have put him over, and that would have been like you said, the formulation of the championship faction. But I guess not, right?
Again, we also had this match too where you have Danielson still on the neck and he's shaking on the ground, convulsing.
I hate those things.
It's so unnecessary to me. It's like, it was I don't want to say fine, but it was scary the first time, and now that you just do it in every match, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not a...
God forbid that actually does happen. Nobody's going to believe it. It's going to be real.
Yeah, that's just what I'm saying. I'm not a real fan of these fake injury, especially like, not even injury, like just the seizures and
just
stuff like
knowing
that.
his history, that like one wrong move could fuck everything
right
up. What do you think of Jeff Jarrett? Because Jeff Jarrett inserted himself as the special enforcer, and then once the ref went down, he became the special ref. A lot of people just said this was pretty much his closure for his best friend Owen Hart, which, you know what, is fine with me. No complaints, honestly. Jeff is one of those weird performers where he does everything so great, but it's just he could be so annoying sometimes.
I'm still with the whole, this is what we used him for, to be the special enforcer. What did he actually do again?
He was out there to stop any interference because I think on Collision, the whole when Christian Cage interfered and cost Jade the match against Hangman, so
right?
Jeff was like, I don't want, this is a tournament to honor my best friend. I'm not letting any shit happen.
Okay, I just want to be clear with it.
Yeah. Next up we had, so Bryan Danielson wins the tournament. He gets the Owen Hart belt, and then Martha Hart come out, and they were in Canada, so she came out as a cowgirl.
Oh yeah, well that's their that whole thing up there is like that they have that Western vibe up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Bryan Danielson earns his championship match at All In. And speaking of the champion, Swerve Strickland came out next, cuts a promo, talking about how it's going to be an honor to face Bryan Danielson in the main event at All In. He didn't forget that Bryan beat him in the Continental Classic. He's going to redeem that loss.
Mm-hmm.
And then he proceeded to challenge Kazuchika Okada to a match for next week, and then declared himself to be on Team AEW for Blood and Guts in 2 weeks.
Didn't he say he was the leader of Team AEW?
No, because Mark Briscoe said he's the captain.
Oh, I thought he was proclaiming himself to be the leader.
Well, he said that since I'm the champion, I should represent the company that I represent, so I'm in the match now. And then later on in the show, we had Hangman storm to the Bucks locker room and just tell them I'm in, so he's the fifth man for Blood and Guts.
So why did he do that? Oh, just because
Swerve got in, and he wants Swerve bad.
Okay, right, got it. All right.
Where I was thinking about this. What if, like, the Elite win, and then in return, the Bucks use their EVP status and insert Hangman into the match and make it a triple threat?
Ugh. And it's crazy.
Or at least promise him a title match at All Out.
It's crazy. Yeah, because it'll be the following week.
In 2 weeks afterwards.
Thankfully, they blessed the wrestling fan base with a 2-week gap for pay-per-views. Fucking idiots. The scary thing is that might just be what the scenario and how it plays out. And that's exactly how Hangman will get the title.
We'll get the title shot. We'll see.
No, he'll get the title.
Really?
I believe he'll get
off Swerve?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see. Stadium. I was about to say Stadium Stampede. Stampede Street Fight with Chris Jericho and Samoa Joe.
Oh, jeez. This was hilarious.
Take it. Go.
Just as, okay, I get it. This is how you're supposed to write someone off of TV, because apparently Joe is going back to record Twisted Metal, the series.
Yeah, the filming season 2.
Season 2. But yeah, if you're gonna do it, just put him on a forklift and just have him go through a wall. Best way to do it.
And then he just rolls off the forklift and just lands on the floor.
Yeah, why not?
And then the referee's like, okay, you're out. But at least I loved how during all this, the referee's checking on him, and you hear in the background, due to referee stoppage, the winner of this match is Chris Jericho. like somebody gave the Iggy to Justin Roberts right away.
Let's get this over with.
We had a global 4-way match. Winner earns a international title shot, not named for All In, but a future one. Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, Tomohiro Ishii, Forbidden Door be damned, because that was supposed to be a once a month thing, but this guy's here again. And the resident loser, Kyle Fletcher.
Well, Ishii's gonna be here for a month or so anyway, because he's not in the G1, so he's on loan right now.
Oh,
Ishii's gonna be a while. He's gonna be around for a while.
Oh yeah, he's not in the G.
Yeah, so the right person won here. I'm glad that Pac got
and the right person lost. What? Nothing against Kyle Fletcher, but what a fucking loser.
Listen,
can't win a match. He had the Ring of Honor TV title too.
He's on. He's everybody hits the skids one way or another. Everybody just
needs his tag team partner back so badly right now.
And it doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon either. So
Pac wins, and then he says All In is going to be his moment. So I guess he just assumes he's going to get the title shot at All In, depending on whatever the fuck happens next week.
Right.
Yeah, we did that. Oh. Our favorite female wrestler, Mercedes Moné, comes out for a toast. What? These are okay. So Dynamite was good, but these are the type of segments with AEW where there's a stretch of segments in a row where it's the same fucking thing. Like during the pandemic era, where Jericho did town halls every week, just talking. Now we're doing that with Mercedes.
I think this is probably where we could say that people either changed the channel or just walked away for a little while.
Maybe
it's very. I mean, I get what you're trying to do. Now you already got her in.
You're
full,
making more heat.
Yeah,
more heat.
Full heat mode with her. I get it, but it's just also. It's not the heat you want where you don't want to watch it. It's more annoying than anything.
They're in Canada, so of course Mercedes Moné goes, I'm the best there was, the best there is, the best there will be. She fucked the whole catchphrase.
Yeah, I was about to say she fucked that whole thing. Yeah, thanks.
Bret Hart prepared his sniper at Goldberg, and then quickly transitioned to Mercedes. Like, I'm gonna fucking shoot.
All right, it's like
that was my immediate thought. He heard this and goes, "Is this bitch for real?"
He did the double take. I was like, oh, let me go over here now. Let me turn this side.
Woke up with a cold sweat.
Disrespect.
Baker came out, interrupted the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. Last week's segment was so much better than this, honestly. This was nothing.
This is trying to capitalize on what happened last week.
We come back from commercial, and Brandon Cutler's on the floor.
He
has face paint on as Darby Allin, and then we pan up, and Darby Allin is there in a furry pink coat.
Welcome back, Darby.
Yeah,
again.
He's one of the 4 pillars, and this is his return. He beat the shit out of Brandon. Also, it's like, I don't care, Brandon Cutler, whatever. I'm not going to go on a rant about it. No use. He's the elite's lackey. He's there for a reason. But there was a purpose to this. So Darby then to basically just told Jack Perry, watch your back.
Right. That's
so. There's our All In match, probably, or All Out. Darby versus Jack for the TNT title.
How many matches do you think they're gonna have for All In? Shit,
16. 5 on the 0
It'll start at 12 and finish at 12.
Remember last year's when they had Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs come out? It's when nobody in the crowd for a contract signing on the 0 hour.
Right. Wasn't that when what's his name?
Grado.
Yeah,
they did that too. 16. That's my final guess.
Yeah, we're gonna go. How was it over?
You want to go over under 15?
Over under 13. I'll say over. I'll take the over.
Anything? No way before we get to the main event. No, I think we're all good because now we're at the main event.
The main event. Bing, bing, bing.
Women's Owen Hart Finals. Winner goes to All In, challenges Toni Storm for the women's title. We had Mariah May come out in Toni Storm gear with the pink and black, and then we had Willow Nightingale come out in, this was fucking cool to see, in the Owen Enough is Enough gear with the danger caution tape.
Yeah, that was cool.
These women, I should have known something was up when they made this the main event. Because I thought maybe the men would get the main event spot, but no, they gave it to the women, so I should have known something was going to happen. But these two women had a really great match. They went all out in this main event. They really shined in this outing. We had a Sting-looking figure run to the ring, get in the middle, distract Willow. Chris Statlander came from behind, attacked her. Stokely Hathaway in a Sting hoodie, and they both ran to the back like they just robbed a bank. and then we had Mariah get the win here with, I forget what she won with, but she won. Now she is the number 1 contender for her best friend Toni Storm's women's title at All In. And they're hugging, they're kissing, they're practically rubbing each other's chests at this point. Mariah skips up the ramp, grabs the title, and then lowers the boom. Hits Toni Storm in the face with the Owen belt. And Luther tries to stop her. She throws him off the stage to a table, which didn't look good at all. But
yeah,
aside from that,
and weird placing to put a table.
Yeah, I was like going to whatever. That was the least impressive thing in this whole thing because Toni Storm got color. She started bleeding from her head. She's screaming, "Why? Like crying and shit." And Mariah took her high heel, or Tony's high heel that was pure white, and starts jabbing her in the fucking head with this heel. I thought at first she was going for her eye, but that's not what she was. She was making that cut open.
We're not doing the Dusty Road Warrior angle here. We're not doing that.
Yeah, no, but it was still brutal. And like Mariah like wipes the blood off her face and puts it on hers. So it's just the look in her eyes, like this woman snapped.
The only thing about this for me is I would have maybe waited to do it next week, but okay. I mean, it's fine.
Because
I would have loved to have them have a harmonious sense of still being friends after this, and then they'll have like a little banter back and forth about, now we're gonna see each other and the thing, and then boom, drop the boom on her for next week for the 250th episode.
I understand what you're saying, but I think compared to what they announced next week, I think they had to do it this week because everything else that would have been on the 250 show would have overshadowed this, honestly.
Maybe.
In some aspects, because nobody expected this at all. I maybe people expected Mariah to turn on her, but not like this. Like nobody expected her to go full like psycho and try to murder this woman on national television. Kill with the shoe, as Tony says. Like, dodge for the shoe. She didn't dodge it, but yeah. I mean, Mariah May looked so psychotic. She looked like a star in this. This was a star making.
Yeah.
As far as like a promo next week, God only knows. Like it was funny too because people like God only knows if Mina Shirakawa made it back to Japan. If she came back, would she get killed by Mariah May as well?
Yeah, I want to see what the she'll probably come out dressed up again like Toni Storm, the old one, and just like cut a promo like that.
Yeah, it would be interesting too if she's still dressing up as her until the match. But Yeah, overall, this was probably the best closing angle for AEW Dynamite. Now, as for next week, they announced Swerve and Okada as well, and MJF and Will Ospreay for the international title. For episode 250, which after 5 years, it's kind of insane to say. Now they reached 250 episodes.
Yeah, it's like, it's about that time. It's about right. They've been nobody thought they'll be this long, and they did it. They're 250 episodes deep. Congratulations to them.
They have this, and then 2 weeks they have Blood and Guts. All in, they pretty much have their two world title matches set.
Right.
And Mercedes and Britt is made official as well. So we're still on the road to All In, everybody.
Yeah. So, like I said, good show for Dynamite this week. I was not upset at all with it. Like I said, I probably would have waited another week for the Mariah May turn, but hell, it got the news and the eyes on the product. So, yeah. Other than that, that's going to end around the square circle. Much more to talk about. Guys, going to cut off the live stream here. Thank you guys for partaking. And also make sure that you download, subscribe, be a part of the vibe of all things connected to Turnbuckle Tabloid. We are everywhere on all platforms, on podcasting networks, as well as we're touching base on every streaming part as well. Big announcements coming soon on what's upcoming for Turnbuckle Tabloid and future shows as well. And please just download, subscribe, be a part of the vibe, and get the audio versions of us as well. If you want the full and condensed versions of our segments, make sure you check us out on Turnbuckle Tabloid on all your podcasting outlets. All right. So guys, thank you guys for checking in and watching us on the streams. And Mike and I still got work to do. And like I said, that's why I tell you guys, download and find the podcast so you can get more stuff from us. And on that note, got to hit the outro because Mark never knows when it ends. So check you guys in a second.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.